Howdy, folks. Hey, Zach. Saw Vonius. I saw Link. Guy, if you're still in here, I am not a pro Risk of Rain player, so a lot of not good is going to happen. Okay? Please do not expect good to happen. I will die a lot. Don't know what this game is? I will absolutely explain it to you as we go through. Yeah, if people don't know what's going on screen, absolutely let me know. I will be happy to explain what's going on, what each individual item is. I know most of them, like their actual stats by this point, so I can talk about most of them, and people can always correct me if they know better than I do. Let's get going. Out of curiosity, so I've been thinking about this a little bit before we get started. So, a lot of the big streamers, you know, when I do streaming for you guys, or when I do Let's Plays on like YouTube and stuff like that, when I do offline recording not often as that is lately, I typically do full screen games, so you guys have the game, because I think that's the major thing going on. Hey, Car. But mostly I just kind of put the game up and then let you guys go. The exception is when I'm doing speed runs, because I need to have the timer in there, and the timer does not overlap very well with the game. So, out of curiosity, what do you guys prefer? Do you guys want to see a full-screen game like you see now? Or should I be looking at something more like, for example, you know, a layout like this, like the game would be in the black box, instead of that black box has nothing in it. But have a layout, I can have the camera up, I can put chat on the far left side, it's not necessarily overlapping with the game. What do you guys actually want to see? I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to make a change now, but I'm kind of curious what people actually want here. Yeah, No Signal's an amazing game. It's fantastic. Like, I can't wait to show it to you guys. I've been playing it recently. Where's mine? So just out of curiosity, while you guys are thinking that over, yeah, so Risk of Rain is a third-person shooter. It's a little bit, like if you're familiar with something like Binding of Isaac, you know, Enter the Gungeon, Tower of Guns, things like that. It's got a little bit of that kind of roguelike feel, in that every floor that we're on is going to be a floor that's going to have items, and we're picking up items to augment our own character, multiple characters, and the idea is to get as far as we can. Typically getting to the 5th floor, and then at floor 5, or level 5, however you want to call it, making a choice whether we're going to go fight the final boss, or whether we're looping and starting over again on floor 1 with stronger enemies and all the items that we start with, and just kind of see how far we can go. So it's, there's kind of a lot going on, lots of different enemies can spawn, there's some cool shrines and stuff like that, items very different, excuse me, apparently dogs want to be in my room. It's not so much that there's a boss every level, every level has a boss. The true boss is technically floor 6, but at floor 5, you make a choice. Are you going to floor 6 with the true boss, or are you going back to floor 1? It's called a loop. Are you looping, and, you know, kind of going further, and the game continues to scale difficulty-wise? I'll kind of explain more as we go in. I'm seeing some votes for the other layout, so for now, just for giggles, before we actually start, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set this up, and for now, we'll kind of use this, and we'll see what happens. If stuff ends up being too small, we'll do something about it. I'll figure out what to do about it. I'll absolutely snuggle her in just a second. She's actually sitting right next to me. I'm happy to throw her up, even if it's not convenient. I'll find a way to pause and throw her up. This is the only downside to doing it like this. And it's not like a downside. It's just, this is the only downside to doing it like this, is that the game is considerably smaller. So, that's something that we have to consider. I'm sorry to hear about your headache. I get those fairly often, so I can understand why those suck. Is chat... Okay, so here's a question. When I do these layouts, it's kind of hard for me to see sizes, necessarily. Can people talk a little bit and just tell me, is chat large enough when I have it where it is right now? I moved it off the games that way, because the game, not going to be particularly visible there. So let me know if chat is large enough. If not, I have to make some adjustments. Go with that. Hey, Rose, they want to see you. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi. Chat isn't visible as far as you... It should be visible now. I only have it up for, like, a short period of time. It's not up permanently. So is it large enough as is? Alright. She's a little bit upset with me. Needs to be larger. Okay, how can we make it larger? You go enjoy your treat. He has a, What are you begging for? So, just so you guys know, this is the treat she gets. This is how... Look, this is my hand. This is how big this thing is. She gets these, and she goes through them in, like, a day. Okay, so you can read it, but it's too small. Okay, So, I can put... Okay, so what can I do about that? We're just gonna take a minute to fix this. Before I actually start. So give me a second. I have to log in to... Oh, what am I looking at? Okay, so let's take a look. So... I mean, there's very little space on either side that you're seeing. That being said, what if I do... Okay, let's try now. You can barely see names now. Okay, how's font size now? probably good. Yeah, as long as it's readable, that's probably the most important thing. So we'll go from there. And then if I have to adjust in the future, I'll adjust in the future. Yeah, it doesn't stay up forever. The problem is that things are smaller and there will be content, like, on screen. And that's the issue. I want to make sure we're not overlapping actual gameplay content. Especially if we're going to use a layout like this, we might as well use it. That gutter, however, that left-hand side that we're looking at, that is where, like, my live split's going to go. So I may have to make adjustments in the future. But we can go with this for now. Cool. Let's actually play the game. Okay, who do I still have to beat the game with? I need to do the commando. I need to do it with engineer, artificer, mercenary, loader, acrid. Okay. Yeah, the chat window is absolutely transparent, so that's not necessarily a problem. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. Let me check one more thing. Check see if Medif wants to join in on this action. Did I get something new during the last stream? I think we got a skin. I think if I remember correctly, so we ended up getting the mercenary secondary, the alternate secondary skill, while doing a run. The run didn't last very long. We died very, very fast. But we got his secondary skill. I still need to get his alternate special, but that's the prismatic trial one, and I haven't found a prismatic trial that I have had success with doing this. So we got that skin, or that skill, and then we also got... I thought I got someone's skin. Maybe I didn't. Who's my favorite? I actually prefer the Artificer. I think she's a lot of fun. And I'll go into how these people are different a little bit. Yeah, hopefully I won't always be starting this late. I'm trying to get a gym schedule going, and then unfortunately yesterday I had a lot of stuff to do. They're mostly robots? Not really. 2 of them. 2 robots. Multi is a robot. Rex is a robot. Everybody else is well, everybody else is not robot. Acrid is not human, but everybody else is. But like the captain has a bionic arm. The loader is wearing like a like an exosuit sort of thing. The artificer is wearing kind of a like techno magic rig. The engineer is wearing a giant back rig, so they're wearing kind of power armor. On the other hand, the huntress just has a bow and a cape, and the commando just has double pistols and armor. So, you know, different things. Avonis, I absolutely understand needing to have a stream. I have a couple streamers that I watch just to kind of get myself in certain headspaces. Huntress's head? Well, remember, they're wearing helmets. Everybody's wearing armor is the thing. None of these, except for, like, Acrid, none of these are their actual heads or faces. They're all wearing armor and helmets of some nature. So we're not actually seeing, seeing heads. Those aren't eyes. Those are cameras. Trying to decide, do I want to spend some calories today on a Gatorade? I do. 1 second. Yep, we are here if you need talk, someone listen, or otherwise. The Discord's there too if you don't want it recorded. If you would rather have it be like an offline thing, I do specifically have the Discord set up for that sort of thing. And there is actually, like, I have the negative stuff section of the Discord specifically for when people need to vent. So feel free to use that. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna... I'm feeling like the loader is gonna be some fun, so we're gonna go ahead and play as the loader. So, to catch people up who do not know Risk of Rain, so, every character, so we have a bunch of different characters, which is awesome. We got 10 different characters to play with, and there's hopefully going to be more in the future. Every different character has 4 different skills. They have the primary skill, left mouse button. This is a basic attack. I'll be using that a lot. There's a secondary button. That's my secondary mouse button, right click in general. That's generally a secondary attack. It does something different. There's a utility skill. For almost every character, a utility skill is it's a movement skill. It is a, rapid transit sort of thing. Some characters ignore that, but generally a utility skill, something like that. Or alternatively, it is it's utility. It's not necessarily a direct attack. It does a thing that is useful. And then every character has a special skill. You'll generally hear me refer to the special skill as an ultimate. It really isn't, but I'm just used to that because it lands on my R key, which is ultimate in League of Legends. But your special skill does something that is very unique, generally crowd clearing. It's kind of a big deal. So the loader is a melee character. We do have different, we have some close range characters from Risk of Rain, we have some long range characters from Risk of Rain. The loader is an up close and personal, in your face, beat the shit out of you character, which I love her for. She's awesome that way. So my primary skill is I just punch you, which is awesome. You're gonna see me go wade into enemies and just kind of box my way in. What's very cool about the primary skill is every enemy I hit with my primary skill gives me a small overshield, which means that I get a little bit more survivability in there. And it looks like, yes, Medif will be joining us. So...
your timing is impeccable.
Yours is too. We were just actually going a little bit over... I'm teaching Risk of Rain to a couple people who have never seen it before, so I have to go little explanations. But we also had some stream stuff to talk about, some layout stuff.
Yeah, the reason I say your timing is impeccable is that... excuse me. I just finished soloing Fatalists on Monster Hunter World.
Nice. Was he fun?
Oh man, the nostalgia hit so hard. It was so good.
That's the really big black dragon, right?
Yeah, he's like the original big bad evil dragon from the very first Monster Hunter.
Was he the super boss from Monster Hunter 3?
I don't know about 3. I never played that one.
Shame.
But
I think I might have fought him once.
I know he was like the big bad of the very first Monster Hunter on PlayStation 2.
See, 3 was the first one I really ever truly got into.
I can check it, actually.
I got to get back into this. But to follow up, for those who, better checking that, to follow up on Risk of Rain, so I'm going to be playing the loader. So primary attack, punch, gain shield. The more enemies I hit, the more shield I get. No, not Nergigante. Nergigante is a completely different monster, who I think is just for Monster Hunter World. I think he's brand new for that. So not the nerd. Medif is too loud because I adjust that in OBS. I can.
Sorry about that, guys.
Nope, that's not you.
No, he was in Monster Hunter 1, Monster Hunter Freedom 2, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, Monster Hunter 4 Unite, and Monster Hunter World Iceborne. So he was not in 3.
Not in 3. Okay. So yeah, my melee is going to give me a shield. Faster attack speeds mean more shields, and more enemies hit simultaneously means more shields. So I like wading into combat. My right click is kind of a... It's the old school shoot your fist you always see on, like, any robot anything, right? I shoot my fist out, it's attached by a tether. If I hit land, it pulls me to it. If I hit an enemy that is big and beefy and bigger than I am, it pulls me to them. If I hit enemies who's smaller than me, I pull them to me. It also does a little bit of damage and stuns, which is kind of cool. It is a rocket fist, yeah.
I think the one you were thinking of is Electron.
Electron, that's it. Yep.
He's also in this now, though.
I heard that. I need to get back to it. I've had too much to play. Our utility skill is my personal favorite. Yeah, it's a grapple fist, but it's effectively rocket fist. Shoots out, reel it back in. Our third hit is what I will always call One Punch Man. Our third hit is a charge. Yeah, it's Blitzcrank. Yeah. Our third hit is a charged attack. We rear back, charge up, and dash forwards. Huge punch. And the longer I charge it, the harder it hits and the further I go. And then with the variant I'm using, because characters have variant skills. With the variant I'm using, it doesn't do quite as much damage as the original, and I don't fly quite as far as the original. I used to be able to use it to, like, really rapidly move across the environment. But when I hit an enemy, not only do I shock hit them, so lots of damage right there, but in addition to that, there's a big conal AoE behind them, so I hit enemies past them with the blast. So it makes it very cool to use to get rid of, Where's Medivh? Medivh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I use that for my, my crowd control. And then lastly, she has her least impressive skill. She's got her pylon. It's just this floating Tesla thing that just shoots people, and that's about it. It kind of floats in the air, it zaps people, and I can grapple it. I never will, because it's never convenient to do so, but I will have that. Also, the loader's immune to fall damage. So you're going to see me flying all over the place. So that's some cool stuff.
I gotta say this. I like the new stream layout, and yes, engineer Medivh.
That's one of the things we were doing earlier, is I was asking, would we prefer to see like full screen game, or do we want me to use the my speedrun layout and actually have a layout?
I think this works fairly well. I mean, it does feel like a lot of empty space due to not having like
yeah.
Not having what's it called, checkpoints or whatever the heck you want to call them.
I don't have splits or something in there.
But I do like the blue box under your webcam that shows the chat.
Well, what I could do is, instead of having chat vanish,
just like have it persistent.
I can just have it persistent, yeah.
Which, I think that would work well, and bring it so it comes right up under your webcam.
Nice.
That way it's like a scrolling thingamabooble.
Yeah. I've saved that change now, so it'll gradually start filling up. We'll see that. I'll have to adjust it when I'm actually doing splits, but
might I say, my good friend Nye, your beard is looking magnificent.
Just means I've been lazy and I haven't actually haven't shaved. That's all this is. Eventually this will start itching and I'll get an ord of it and it will go away. And yes, Avanius, that is my sub sound. Someone mentioned a long time ago, because I love that quote from Final Fantasy X, so that is the sub sound right now.
Oh man, what you gotta do? Oh, I'm gonna close my window actually.
Ride the shoe puff.
But for the itch, as a beard wearer myself, to deal with the itching, you gotta get to like a beard
gotta get the beard oil. Yeah.
Yeah. I personally use jojoba and eucalyptus oil, but tea tree oil also works really nicely.
Okay, I'm gonna get us started as we talk about this, and then I'm gonna have to interrupt you every so often because we do have people who do not know Risk of Rain, so I'll be describing stuff and what's going on.
No, of course.
Usual. Get us going in. So we are locked in. So a couple things you guys see on the right-hand side that we're not touching right now. Top of it is difficulty. There are 3 difficulties in the game, and the various difficulties actually do change various things actually in the game, so we'll talk about that later. We're playing on the hardest difficulty, which is all you will ever see from me from here on out. Ooh. Okay, you're going that way, I'll go this way. So that is the hardest difficulty. The things just on the lower right-hand corner were something called artifacts. Artifacts are kind of unlockables in the game, and when you unlock an artifact, it is a modifier that actually changes the way the game plays. We're not using any right now because we're going for unlocks right now. That is my One-Punch Man attack, that is my grapple, and this is me beating the shit out of a stone giant.
Ivanius, I just want to say, good job on being one of the bearded fellows.
I'm telling you, for me, it's literally just because I'm lazy. When I get off my ass, it goes away, and then I stop touching it.
That's how they all start.
I usually prefer to have like the more stubble, scruffy look, but that's hard to maintain. That takes work.
I mean, like, if I'm going out to hang out with Sora when she visits, I trim it down. That's like the Mountain Man beard. But
yeah, mine gets Mountain Man sometimes. Right now, it's kind of in that intermediate, just kind of it exists sort of feel.
I usually keep it down to like 5, which is about half a centimeter. So long enough to notice, short enough to be soft.
Makes sense. Okay, so to describe gameplay loop and the stuff that's actually going on screen, so what we're always looking for in any given level is that thing over there. That's the teleporter. When we are prepared to leave the level, we activate the teleporter, and this activates an event called the teleporter event. And the teleporter event takes a certain amount of time where we have to stay in a certain proximity to the teleporter. Enemies spawn constantly, one or more bosses spawn, we have to kill at least the boss, and then we have to kind of survive. The teleporter will charge up. And, there we go.
You got a lunar pod over on this side.
I'll take a look. I doubt I'll use it. We'll take a look. So we're always looking for, the teleporter, but we also want items, because the game is constantly getting harder. Enemies are constantly doing more damage, they have more health, so on and so forth. So it's very important that we are getting items to keep up with that. In order to get items, we have to open either these crates like this, activate the shop like that over there that you saw me activate earlier, so on and so forth. Hi, sure, let's just start off with that, sure.
Nice.
Yep,
That's great for you.
let's just begin with a red. That's fine. So, we have to kill enemies. Enemies gives us money, and we spend the money to open shops, open chests, things like that. Chests come in a couple of various sizes, so there's small, medium, and large. The one that you saw me open up back there with the 3 bands, that's a medium chest. There will be small ones, I haven't seen one yet, that are just called small chests. There are big golden ones, those are large chests. The various chest sizes just tells me what rarity of item I should expect to see most often out of that chest. So a small chest, we expect to see white items. Common items. White items are, they're your bare bones, but more importantly, they're your basic skills, basic items, basic status effects. So they're good to have. It's not bad to get whites. You actually want a lot of them. Greens are uncommons. They're more unique items. They kind of augment how you move. They add extra abilities to you, things like that. And then reds are rare items. Reds are power items. They do some really neat shit. So whenever we see a red, we want to pick that up. But Medivh and I need to kind of balance who gets what item, because the game really does need both of us to be on level. Playing multiplayer does increase the amount of loot on the level, but it also increases the amount of enemies, it increases how much damage they do, how hard they are, it increases the scaling of the difficulty in the game and makes it scale faster. So we both need to be kind of on par. So because I got a red, we really want the next red to go to Medivh. That being said, if the red's better on one or the other of us, we're probably going to make that decision first.
Yeah.
So, Medivh's doing a little better than I am. He has 1 extra item, not really a big deal at the moment. We're still kind of looking around and dealing with the level. Now, what has to be noted is the thing in the upper right-hand corner. You see that we're on stage 1. That kind of cow icon is the difficulty level, so we're on Monsoon, the hardest difficulty. You see our timer, that's how long we've been playing the current run, and below that, you see the difficulty scaling. The timer constantly ticks, except for a couple situations where it doesn't, and as the timer ticks, enemies get harder. Every time that timer ticks up to a new level, so going from easy to medium, as it will in about 30 seconds or so, enemies get harder, they deal more damage, they have more health, they resist more damage, it is more likely to see elites, and more enemies will spawn simultaneously. We have to make sure we're keeping up or we're never going to survive. And that means we have to go to the next level kind of as quickly as possible. So we're balancing exploring levels and getting items with let's get the hell out of here and not have to fight enemies that are too hard.
Speaking of, shall I hit the teleporter?
1 second. This one I'm actually picking up because fall damage doesn't exist for me. I'll be there in a second. Go ahead and hit it. So Medivh just hit the teleporter. The teleporter event starts. Any chest or other item that has not been picked up so far is now not available to us until the teleporter event is over. The exception is if the item is inside of the teleporter event already. And then we had bosses spawn. So normally we would have 2 bosses spawn because there are 2 of us, but Medivh activated something called the Shrine of the Mountain.
No, you mean 1. Your thing gets 1.
Oh, you activate 2 Shrines of the Mountain?
No. I mean, we'd only have 1 boss usually, but because I hit the mountain, we have 2.
Okay. We have 3.
We have 3?
We have 3. That's why I said 2. We got 1 extra for Shrine of the Mountain. So, bosses spawn. We have to kill them. When we kill the boss, we will each get an extra item that will drop. It's always at least green level, or... I don't think I've ever seen a red drop, so I don't think a red can drop. So it's going to be green level, or it's going to be a special yellow item, which is a boss item. And that item will be exclusive to whichever boss we killed. In this case, the Beetle Queen.
I don't think we get a shitload of yellows.
I mean, yellow would be nice. I wouldn't mind her yellow. I prefer greens, actually. I don't like her yellow that much.
I mean, it's bodies.
Yep, it is bodies. You're exactly right. So as you can see, I'm just up in the thick of it. I attack up close and personal. And if you look at my lower left-hand corner, you'll see that I have that green health bar. We got razor wire, so I will pick up one.
No, I grabbed two, you grabbed
You grabbed two? Okay. Because we had Shrine of the Mountain, I'm getting us out of here. Because we had Shrine of the Mountain, we fought extra bosses, but got extra item. So instead of one item for each of us, we got 2 items for each of us. Heavy risk, because if our DPS wasn't good enough, if our gameplay wasn't good enough, the bosses would kill us easily, but heavy reward as well.
Which happens more often than you think.
Yep. Okay, so now that we've actually gotten some kills under our belt, now that we've gotten off the first level, and I've talked about how the basic gameplay loop works, do you want to stay here? Oh, yeah. Do you want to stay here, or do you want me to stay here?
Well, looks like we both get a large chest.
Nice. So let's talk about items that we got. So across the top of my bar, so to talk about HUD real quick, top left is my money in the top, and that is my lunar coins below that. Lunar coins are a special currency to get special items that are very double-edged sword. They're very risk-reward. They do something good, and they do something bad. I got one, which I will talk about in a second. Below that, you see the character list. There's me and Medif. This game allows up to 4 characters to play simultaneously. You also see our turrets. Medif is an engineer. Because he's an engineer, he's able to summon up to 2 turrets that fight with him and use his items. So he has those. We also have other turrets we picked up that are currently helping us, and drones at the same time.
I'm doing it.
Okay. Lower left-hand corner, you're going to see my current level, which doesn't really matter all that much, and my health. If that green bar goes to 0, I die, which is generally considered to be a bad thing. Nice. Are you going to come back and pick up this large, or should I just pick it up?
The first one's yours, I'll take the second.
Okay, I already got my first one.
Okay.
Now, you'll see that as I hit these enemies, I gain an extra yellow health bar. That's the overshield I was talking about. There's 2 types of shields in this game. There's blue, and there's yellow. Blue adds onto your health bar. It's more maximum health, and blue shields work kind of like shields in Halo. So if you take no damage for X number of seconds, the shield refills. It's about 7 seconds. So very, very good, and we really like them, but the problem is you have to take no damage, and the further you get in the game, the harder it is to take no damage.
Yes!
Yellow shields are over shields. Think of them as the super shields in Halo, so they go over my health. Blue shields are a percentage of my health. I believe it's about 14% for every item that gives me a blue shield, with exceptions. Yellow is able to double my health.
You're gonna want the shop that I just marked. I'm heading to go grab my large chest, but it's got a crowbar, the bustling, cautious slug, and a question mark.
You want this one then? Let me come in that direction. So you'll see that I have the yellow shield. My yellow shield can give me up to an extra 100% of my total health, including blue. So I do want blue shields as well. Lower middle, you will see descriptions of items that I've picked up. I will give you a better description as we go. Lower right are my skills and my active items, so if you want to keep track of my cooldowns and see can I use a skill, that's that. Upper right-hand corner is what are we currently doing in difficulty meter, and across the top are all my items.
Bustling fungus is really good on engineer because what it does is if you're not moving, it drops a healing aura. But my turrets get any benefit that I have from my skill, from my pickaxe. So that means any turret I drop is going to have a healing aura.
Cold War Stealth Kit. I don't think I'm trading anything into that, though. Okay, so items we're going to go through really quick. Starting upper left-hand corner, we have my med kit. After 2 seconds, after taking any damage, I will regenerate 20 health plus 5% of my maximum health. Meaning, if I get 20 medkits every time I take damage, 2 seconds later, I get fully healed. Very unlikely for that to happen, but you never know. Next to that, we have sticky bombs. Sticky bombs have a chance to attach themselves to an enemy after any attack I do. That was one of them just now. After a couple seconds, the sticky bomb activates and just deals extra damage based off of my damage. And damage is just based on what level you are. So that just adds extra damage. Now that red, the really exciting one, is the Sentient Meat Hook. Sentient Meat Hook is kind of a fantastic item. The idea is that as I'm attacking, there's a chance that the Sentient Meat Hook will activate. It will reach out and grab a number of enemies, dealing damage to them, and also pulling them to the enemy that triggered the effect. Not to me, to that enemy. So if Medivh had it, he would be doing them, he'd be getting enemies away from him. And then for me, because I'm a melee, it pulls enemies towards me. So kind of useful item there. And it's really best on me just because I am the melee person, so it just pulls enemies into my face. We like that.
Alright, so you have the chance shrine down there. I'm gonna...
Yep.
Okay, you know it.
So you might have just seen the Sentient Meat Hook activate just now. I'm going for the question mark. Sure. So next to the Sentient Meat Hook, you see the Monster Tooth Necklace. Monster Tooth Necklace causes enemies that I kill, every single one of them in fact, to drop a green orb. Picking up that green orb does kind of similar to the med kit. Gives me a base amount of health with the amount I can't remember off the top of my head. And then on top of that base amount, it restores a percentage of my maximum health. Unfortunately, I don't know the numbers on that one on top of my head.
Bandolier.
Nice. Next to the Monster Tooth Necklace, you see the Brittle Crown. The Pain Shrine take away my money with the blue item I have. Yes, but it gives me more money than I lost. In addition to that, I didn't have much money in the first place, so.
Speaking of, I'm actually going to hit that third shrine.
Good luck.
Hey, it's okay. I have fun, guy.
So the Brittle Crown is kind of special. The Brittle Crown is a lunar item. So like I said, lunar items are risk-reward. So the lunar items, yep.
No, see, I was fine, and then an elite frozen jellyfish decided to eat itself out of existence.
Oh, I'm very familiar with those.
I hate those ones. It's like, you're jellyfish. You shouldn't want to commit Sudoku on everything.
So the Brittle Crown has a chance every time I hit an enemy, just hit, not kill. Normally, you don't get money unless you kill. It has a chance upon hitting an enemy to give me extra money just for the hit. However, anytime I lose health, I lose money. So it gets me money faster, but I can lose money very quickly. So hitting that health shrine that hit earlier, which takes away health and gives you money, technically I'm losing money and gaining money at the same time. I just happen to be gaining more. To the right of my Brittle Crown, I have 2 Razor Wire. Razor Wire is awesome for me as a melee character. It's also awesome for meta. It's awesome in general, but for me especially, Razor Wire, every time an enemy deals damage to me, I immediately hit that enemy back automatically for damage, as well as a couple enemies sitting next to them. So it's not just me, or it's not just them. I'm hitting, oh, this could suck. I'm hitting multiple enemies simultaneously with that Razor Wire. For every additional Razor Wire, because, for example, right now I do have 2, every additional Razor Wire I get means that the Razor links go to that many additional enemies. So I think we start with hitting 7 enemies, and then every additional Razor Wire gets me 7 more enemies, which is kind of neat. Next to the Razor Wire, you have the Harvester Scythe. The Harvester Scythe, please die before you go off, please die before you go off, please die before you go... well, that sucked.
Well, you still... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I just wasn't sure how much damage I take.
No, it does when you're over stupid.
In addition to dead. Ha 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 ha. Okay, fine. I'm gonna be really, really healthy. In addition,
much fruit.
So much fruit. I have the Harvester Scythe. So the Harvester Scythe gives me 5% crit chance just for having one. That does not stack, by the way. So no matter how many Harvester Scythes I have, it will only give me an extra 5%. I start with a 1% crit chance, so right now I have a 6% crit chance on any attack that I do. Every time I crit, which you will notice it'll be red letters on the damage numbers whenever I crit. Every time I crit, I will gain some health back based on how much I dealt with the crit. So very, very useful if we get a high crit build going. Armor-piercing bullets to the right of that. Every single one of those lets me do 20% more damage to any boss I fight. this is not just bosses of teleporter events. This is any boss,
Coin,
including
coin,
them that
coin.
manually spawn.
Coin.
Coin?
You're walking away from a coin.
Oh.
It literally dropped on you.
I didn't see it. Hold on, there's a shop over there I want to hit real quick.
Yep.
So I have 2 armor-piercing bullets, therefore I do 40% extra damage to bosses. Stun grenades simply have high crit glasses. Stun grenades
Another 10%.
have a chance of stunning my enemy. Stun grenades are kind of awesome because they do stack linearly, so get enough and you are guaranteed to stun with every hit. I also have Soldier Syringe, which gives me a 17% attack speed boost. On this character, that's really only important for my main attack. But those also stack linearly. So
it also affects your charge speed for any charged abilities.
Yep, so my charge punch charges faster, my attack speed is faster. There's a lot of cool faster stuff. To the right of that, you see my fuel cell. So my fuel cell does a couple of different things. It gives me the ability to get extra... which way do you want to go?
I'll take the underground. Actually, I want this shop, though, because mushrooms.
Cool. I'll go this way. The fuel cell allows me to charge extra charges on my active item, which I'll talk about in a second. It also reduces the cooldown of my active item by a percentage, I believe.
There's some more crit glasses in this shop.
You need it,
so.
because I already got one. So you take that one.
Alright.
To the right of my fuel cells, I have my rusted key. Having 1 rusted key causes a rusted lockbox to spawn somewhere in the level. It can spawn anywhere in the level. It is 100% random. The more rusted keys you have as a party total, the better chance of getting higher level loot. A rusty lockbox can have up to red items in it, so it can have really good items. And the more rusty keys you have across the party, the better chance it has of being a high-level item. Crit glasses, like Medif said, is a passive 10% chance to crit. They do stack linearly. Once you have 10 of them, you have 100% chance to crit, and there's no further point getting any more past 10. There are mods that change that, but we're not currently running any. The meat that I have, every time I kill an enemy, it will increase my passive health regeneration by 2 HP for every meat that I have. Keep in mind, this is not as good as it sounds, because killing an additional enemy, that lasts for 2 seconds. Killing additional enemies only increases the amount of time. It refreshes the amount of time that effect lasts. It does not increase the effect. So I don't personally value meat very highly. It's good, but there are definitely better healing items out there. Tough Times Teddy is... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, he's not like Sponge, if you're familiar with the blind stall memes.
This is yours.
Oh, lovely.
Yep. Because that affects your turrets. The Resonance Disc I'm giving up, the reason I'm giving it up, every time you, or in the engine's case, you or your turrets get a kill, it stacks an internal counter on the Resonance Disc. When the internal counter hits a certain amount, the Resonance Disc fires a piercing shot at a certain enemy. Any enemy it hits on the way takes damage, and when the disc actually hits its target, it then explodes. Medif is the better choice for that one because he and his turrets get it, so 3 times the total potential discs.
There's a goat hook over here.
You should probably get the first one of those. I'll take another one later.
No, I mean, it's a...
Oh, 3D printer. I missed that. We also have the Tougher Times. You'll hear me refer to the Tough Times Teddy, because that's what it was called in Risk of Rain 1.
Dookie!
The Tough Times Teddy gives us a % chance to flat ignore any incoming damage. I believe it's 13% to start. It scales linearly technically, but with diminishing returns. So at about, I think it's 10 Tough Times Teddies, we have about a 45%-ish chance to ignore damage. But at 20, we only have like a 60% chance. So it doesn't scale as well as you might think. Still amazing to get, and we definitely want as many as I can possibly achieve. But it's not as it's not super powerful to stack those. In general, in Risk of Rain, it is not effective to stack a single item a ton. There are exceptions to that rule.
Certain items are linear, other items are percentage-based.
There's a flower pot over here if you want it.
I'll give it an open. I still don't have an active item.
Oh, hey, scrapper.
Yeah, there are a few of those, actually.
So I'll talk about the scrapper in a second. To the right of my Tough Times Teddy, you will see I have a personal shield generator. I picked it up pretty recently. Hey, Tincture's awesome. I picked that up fairly recently. It doesn't stack well with my fuel cells, otherwise I would have. That actually stacks fairly well with you because of the bustling fungus.
True.
Every portable shield I have, or personal shield generator I have, gives me a blue shield, worth, I believe it's 14% of my maximum health, and that stacks linearly, so it will rapidly increase my health totals. And remember, my yellow shield counts the total of my regular green health and my blue health, so stacking those is very helpful for me. Only downside to those is that, remember, it takes about 7 seconds without taking damage in order to actually have that thing recharge. I also picked up the Hopu Feather. The Hopu Feather is literally just a double jump. Every one of those gives me another double jump, so nothing huge there. To the right of that, you'll see Scrap. I'll talk about that in a second. And the item I just picked up is Runald's Ring, or the Red Ring, which is what I usually call it. The rings are kind of special. Every 10 seconds, the rings activate. And anytime I perform an attack that does more than 400% of my base damage, do we want to go to the shop?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'll activate. Anytime I do an attack that does more than 400% of my base damage, my ring will activate if it is off cooldown. The red ring causes that fire tornado you see there, which spawns on whatever enemy I hit, and does a fair amount of damage to every enemy in the area, and then ticks for a little bit. So, pretty powerful attack, pretty useful stuff.
Alright, are we ready to go?
Almost. Let me just double check. You got most of the middle, it looks like.
I'm actually gonna scrap the Legion Seed and grab Chronobauble.
You want me? Where was the Chronobauble?
I have so much.
Oh, it's a 3D printer. I got nothing to scrap.
It's fine. My turrets will take care of it.
Yeah. So the only other thing we're going to talk about right now, before we actually get into the actual game itself and where we are, is the concept of 3D printers. So any given 3D printer that Medif and I have been pinging each other about, a 3D printer comes in either a white, green, or red variant, and it will make that item that you see, so we can get more of the specified item that allows us to customize our builds a little bit. Problem is, in order to 3D print a green item, we must give up a green item, and 3D printers will take randomly from your inventory. The exception is scrap. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. So, scrappers allow us to give up an entire stack of items. So, for example, you see I have two... Crap. You see I have 2 of the razor wire. I can't just scrap one razor wire. I have to scrap both or none, which kind of sucks. Makes life a little bit difficult there. But I can scrap, one or none, and it will give me that many scrap of that color. So if I scrap my razor wire, I would get 2 green scrap. 3D printers will always... Do you want the kettle or the book?
I'll grab the book. The
okay.
kettle's best on you.
3D printers will always prioritize scrap over actual items. So you saw that I scrapped my meat, which gives me a white scrap. I'm going to go figure out where that Paul's goat hoof was that Medif had indicated, and I'm going to go grab one of those. So the 3D printer will scrap my... will take my scrap before it takes anything else, because I don't want to give up anything else. Everything else is good for my build.
We're up to 3 keys, by the way.
We're up to 3 what now?
3 keys.
Oh, okay, nice.
I
think around 10, it's more likely to get a green than a white, and at 20, it's more likely to get a red than a green.
Good to know.
Yep. It scales very weirdly, but very powerful. So items that we just picked up, Medivh got Gore's Tome. So Gore's Tome makes it so enemies have... Okay, where was the Paul's Good Hoof? On the way. Let me go grab it, and then you can hit the portal.
Yep.
Gore's Tome makes so enemies have a chance of dropping a gold drop, and gold drops give you a ton of money, and that money scales versus difficulty. So it's a great way for us to get money faster. Generally, anytime we get into a level, the hardest thing we have to deal with is getting money quickly to afford items. And sometimes enemies spawn slowly, so difficulty is scaling faster than we're getting items. Paul's Good Hoof just makes me move faster as a base movement speed. I got Mired Urn. You're ready. I got the Mired Urn. The Mired Urn connects to one enemy, or sorry, one thing, either enemy, ally, turret, whatever. It connects to one per Mired Urn I have. I deal constant damage to the target and gain health in return. Technically, if Friendly Fire was on, I'd actually be hurting Medivh or his turrets or our turrets. Friendly Fire's not on, so it just doesn't do anything when we connect.
Hey, look.
I am so tempted.
You know what I'm gonna do?
If I remember correctly, Sentient Meat Hook has a 20% chance of activating for every one you have. I am actually very tempted to grab a second one. I'm not going to, but I'm tempted.
And
you grabbing it?
Let's go to not hell.
Ooh, that's tempting. I don't have enough white items to do that, but God, that's tempting.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You're still good even with that?
We just lost one key, and that was pretty much it.
So we're in what's called the Bazaar Between Worlds. This allows us to buy lunar items. Medivh bought a couple. This also allows us to choose which level we go to next. Every floor has 2 variants, except for the final one. Sometimes we also get to select secret floors. It also has cauldrons. Cauldrons allow you to randomly put in 3 white items to get a specific green item, or 5 green items to get a specific red item. Think of them as 3D printers, but not, like 3D printers that go up. You got that? You got that guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like we got a magma boy.
At least one, yeah. So we have reached the difficulty where bosses will just start spawning.
They're assholes. We don't want
So the reason we chose this level instead of the other alternative, we went to what I call the Airy instead of to what I call Hell, is because Hell is good for single player. It has exactly 1 legendary chest. So the legendary chest, will spawn a red item. The problem is there's only 1, which means only one of us get a red item. On this level, we fight an optional boss. Now, the boss is pretty tricky sometimes. But if we kill the boss, each of us gets a red item. It's 1 red item for every player in the game at the moment. So this level gives us a better way to, to scale up. Big difference between the two of them is just one of them is an item you buy, one of them is an item you fight for. Medivh and I prefer to fight and gain more damage.
Should I hellfire this equipment drone?
No, it kills them too fast. So just catching up on items real quick. Am I streaming for a lot of time? Probably another 2 or 3 hours, or probably another, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So for a bit. So I picked up Paul's Good Hoof, like we already talked about. Paul's Good Hoof is just it's a base movement speed upgrade, so it's for normal speed and for sprinting.
One more.
Yep. I also picked up Warhorn thanks to Medivh. Warhorns.
If you're good, I can follow.
Let me kill the Magma Worm first. It's still over here. It's about like 25% health.
Okay.
Warhorn says that if I use my active item, I get a massive increase in attack speed. So just kind of giving me extra bonuses for using my active item. My active item, by the way, is Foreign Fruit. Activating that just restores 50% of my maximum health. So very good for me because I'm always in the thick of things. It's dead. So Medivh just activated the optional boss, which is this pain in the ass right here. I'm taking care of some big enemies before I go after it. On this level, in order to activate the optional boss, we must destroy a certain amount of bird nests. Once we destroy a certain amount, it'll say there's a distant whirring. That tells us there's 1 more. And once we kill that 1 more, this guy spawns. He is not the boss for the teleporter event, so enemies will still spawn normally. And we do have to eventually deal with him, so I'm actually on my way up to deal with him right now. Let me grab this.
Oh, I was trying to see what it was.
It was a random red whip or infusion.
I'll take that.
Nice. Now, I'm going to see if I can go up to deal with this guy. So this guy is a harder variant of an enemy, or of a boss we'll probably see on the next floor. He does really powerful damage with those balls you see him continuously shooting out. Those also have an AoE effect. They leave like a spot on the ground. It's that right there. That will slow you down. It has a big slow it likes to put on the ground, and that slow is coupled... Nice. That slow is coupled with a big explosion that happens afterwards. It can spawn extra adds, this little ball you see right there. Those adds continually laser you. And then this one has a special attack that it does. Its special attack causes it to gain a very large shield for a short period of time, and then also does the big AoEs on the ground again. It's kind of it's a different variant than a normal enemy we'll see later on. I'm pretty good at dealing with it because I can just stand on it and just deal damage to it. It has a very hard time dislodging me or causing me any real level of grief. I don't like where we are right now, though, because it can just shoot its balls into the corner and hit me with the splash damage like you're seeing.
Its balls are not a nerf.
Yep. Once it gets down to about half health, you will start seeing it use the big shield effect, which I'm not a fan of. But I'm giving it a very bad time. It is not having fun with me. And Medivh gets to just go and kill enemies and grab items because I can take care of this. It's just going to take me a bit. Eventually, he'll be able to catch up to me. Okay, so this is its big attack that it's doing. So you see how it got this gigantic shield. The shield only lasts for about 4 seconds or so, so it's not there forever. But it is kind of obnoxious because you're only dealing damage to its shield and not to it.
There's so many equipment drones.
I want that item, but I can't get it right now. So I'm just causing this guy grief basically by existing right now. A lot of the stuff I do just deals damage to it. If it hits me, it takes damage. By standing next to it, it takes damage. I'm continuously punching it and dealing damage. It's just having a bad day. That's the big AoE I was talking about on the ground. That AoE makes you move slower, which is kind of a problem. Because it makes it harder to get out of. Unfortunately, my damage is not quite as high as I would like it to be, otherwise we'd be killing this thing a lot faster. I don't have any bleeds, I don't have anything that destroys armor. That's a red that, God willing, we'll actually see in just a second. And
I think it only drops the Bird-Tooth necklace.
oh no, this thing drops all kinds of stuff, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it's any red.
Maybe.
I want to say the achievement for killing it is the Bird-Tooth necklace.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you can see I'm just occasionally popping my fruit. I'm not invincible. There's a lot of things that can fairly easily kill me, but I'm pretty damn strong and I'm dealing some good damage.
I'm just trying to keep everything down here dead and off of him. We got an emergency drone! Yay!
Nice.
And I
Just
did not
get
see
off
a
the
single
ground.
trapper down here.
Yeah, I haven't seen one up here either, but I also haven't been looking very carefully. This guy is just kind of giving me trouble. And every time I choose to activate the foreign fruit, damn. Every time I choose to activate the foreign fruit, I will get a huge, attack speed buff. So I am kind of incentivized to actually use this and not just kind of sit. Can you freaking die? Seriously, dude.
My mama always told me never die for strangers. Don't die for a cause you don't believe in.
Heroes never die.
I'm just gonna pop this here and harass him from below.
Okay, now he's dead.
Oh
my
God.
God.
Did help. Right, so
That took
like,
so long. What's the other one?
I don't know yet. I'm running to the other side. Looks like we both have a happy mask.
I'm trying to decide if we just stack that on you. Yeah,
I mean,
let's stack both on you.
Okay.
Because that increases the length of time. So Happiest Mask is kind of interesting. Every time you kill an enemy, and this counts as turrets, which is one of the reasons I want to stack it on him. Every time you kill an enemy, you have a 7% chance to spawn a ghost of that enemy. That ghost lasts 30 seconds, and its health constantly ticks down during that 30 seconds. But the ghost lasts 30 seconds, but it does 5,000% of its normal damage to enemies while it's alive.
What the fuck?
Could not tell you, you just went boom.
A fucking bird just fucking shot an instant kill when I've been taking hits from them much more early.
They do a shit ton of damage. Okay,
Yeah,
time for me to apparently finish up this level.
I had my overshield and everything.
I mean, they do, not only do they do a shit ton of damage, even the lore of birds, like, talk about how much damage they do. I mean, that's fine. You were looting the entire time I was fighting, so this should even out if there's anything left.
No, that isn't, except for anything up there.
Okay, you finished downstairs and in the cave and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Just get a couple items, then I'll prepare to head out. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I wish I could get that Berserker's Pauldron.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, well, I wish I had another one. Okay.
Oh boy, you can trade your Myrder.
I can trade my Myrder for another Myrder. You know what? You can actually infinitely loop those if you have fireworks and just kill everything.
Huh, neat.
Yeah, it will take its own item to make its own item.
Good enough.
Okay, well, I will head towards the exit, and we'll see what we get.
I did fully upgrade that Steel Shrine, so that should make it...
I want you to not exist. I want you to not exist. So, Happiest Mask, the reason why we're stacking it twice on Medivh is that, yes, giving me a chance to spawn ghosts would have been nice, but for every Happiest Mask you have, it increases the duration of ghosts by 30 seconds. So by stacking it on Medivh, not only does he have 3 different things that can kill ghosts, he has him and his 2 turrets, but his ghosts would last a lot longer than if I got ghosts. So I kind of prefer them on him. If I had gotten the first mask, I would have put it on me. It doesn't really matter who actually has it. I'm better for kind of like killing individual enemies. Medivh's definitely going to be better for killing more enemies, at least for the time being.
If you find a Teddy, I will use a few of those next map.
Yeah. So right now, we're just killing bosses. We're just kind of working our way through. We didn't get a ton of items. Wow.
Hey, there's the chronoball.
Was there a... Yes, there was a green I wanted. Hold on. Okay, I'm leaving those there because I want the Berserker's Pauldrons. Oh, no, wait. Never mind. I forgot. There's no scrapper. Yep. That's right. There's no scrapper.
I mean, you could take a risk and try.
No, because I kind of want my other stuff.
Well, I mean, you don't lose them all if you shove it in. You only lose one.
I know, but I don't want to lose... Like, I don't want to lose my Harvester's Scythe, for example. So I'll just grab both these for now.
What else are you going to do with them?
Yeah, Chronobaubles don't stack nicely. Like, they don't stack in a way I care about. That's why I didn't necessarily want them.
Yeah, it's a percentage-based stack, not a stack.
No, it isn't. It's time. It doesn't change how much it slows. It changes for how long it slows.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep, that's why I don't like stacking them. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. So, items we picked up on this floor. We picked up Leeching Seed. Every attack I land restores 1 health. It's not a lot, but if you're a rapid auto-fire champion, it's good. For me, not so much. We picked up Infusion. Infusion, every enemy I kill will increase my maximum health by 1 to a maximum of 100 extra health. Every infusion just doubles that. 2 health per enemy killed, 200 total.
We got 2 Magma Boys.
I see. There's also a Souls Control unit and multiple elite elders. So we got some fun on the way in. So we picked up Infusion. Chronobauble, every time I hit an enemy with any effect, the enemy is slowed. For every additional Chronobauble, it just increases the length of time it lasts. So I don't really like stacking them because I'm generally constantly hitting my enemies anyways. And then I got a Bustling Fungus from something. I don't know what. I don't really care for Bustling Fungus personally. Ow, that hurt. I don't care for Bustling Fungus personally because if you stand still, you restore health. I don't like standing still. Standing still is how you die in Risk of Rain. Oh, well, I fell off. That's cool. I have no fall damage, so I just come right back. Look, I'm back. So I didn't gain too much out of that level. We got some cool stuff. I think Medivh won that level in terms of items. I'll try to catch up on this level.
Quantity, not nearly enough quality.
I mean, 2 happiest masks. I mean, I know that's more of a...
I kind of need this right now.
Yep.
That's pure survivability.
So this is just us deciding that a red is better for Medivh. So the way Aegis works is any healing that is above and beyond your maximum health, you get as a shield. So that would be kind of amazing for me if we see another one, because I do have my fruit. So I could use my fruit to gain an overshield and also get the attack speed buff it comes with. But Medivh is kind of squishy, and also Aegis counts for his turrets as well. So it's something I want eventually, but it's also very good on him right now. Can you die so I can actually start looting shit? Jesus!
We do have scrappers on this floor.
Okay, that thing should be... Are you not dead? Now you're dead. Okay. I'm currently on fire. It's fine. Hey, medkits.
If we can find a thingy, this is gonna be good fun.
Yeah, that would be really nice. The Soul's control unit is still kind of floating.
Yeah, he's at flat.
So I'm gonna go around the outside and then loop back for the upper. Even though you died, you still have a fair amount of items on me. That's for you.
And you take that.
So Focus Crystal increases the amount of damage you deal when enemies are within 19 meters of you. Because I'm melee, I like that. And it does help Medivh. His engineer turrets do like that. But it's kind of better on me right now.
It'd be better if I had the short range melee ones.
One of the reasons Medivh is so squishy, by the way, if you actually look at his health, you'll notice that his health has that kind of white bar. That's because Medivh picked up Shaped Glass earlier. Shaped Glass is a lunar item that causes you to do double damage, but it halves your maximum health, and that can't be fixed. You can't heal past that. So even his Aegis can only go up to half. He doesn't get his full maximum health from anything. So that's why the Aegis is good for him, because he really needs that anti-squishy measure.
Where did you say that fun guy was?
It's on that thin bridge off to the side.
Okay, got it.
It's like over there. Oh, and to answer your question, Zach, that you asked earlier, or I think it was you, Zach. Yes, this particular build can still probably push hermit crabs off. The Mired Urn is a little bit of an issue, but Mired Urn does not do a ton of damage, so I can still kind of work with it.
There are 2 focusing crystals now on the ground.
Nice. I'll be around.
I'm just heading toward that fungus.
Rose Buckler I just picked up reduces the amount of damage I take specifically while sprinting. Generally, I sprint constantly when I am not actively in combat, so pretty good thing for me to have.
There's this fungus.
I don't know exactly how much the increase is, though.
This puts me up to 8 fungi!
That's going to be a really big AoE.
Yeah.
I am glad for you to have them, because they would just get scrapped on me.
Depending on your class determines how legally you get about certain usually garbage items.
And Bustling Fungus is useful to exactly one class. And Medivh is playing it.
Hi.
Like, very early on in the game, especially on lower difficulties, Bustling Fungus is not bad. because standing still is not a death sentence. But you can see just exactly how mobbed I've been getting pretty consistently on this level. I've been constantly fighting and haven't really had a lot of chance to loot. And that's pretty normal, especially on later difficulties. I'm actually having a little bit of trouble because my power... Oh, crap. My power level is really low right now. I'm actually very behind in items at the moment because I've been having to spend so much time fighting bosses. I am not quite as squishy as Medivh. I'm almost as squishy as Medivh right now. Actually, I take it back. I might be squishier than Medivh right now. Old Guillotine is a fantastic item. Unfortunately, it only applies to Medivh. But when he's attacking an enemy, enemies have an instant kill number. It's about 14% of their health. It does stack, but linearly. But kind of like Teddy Bear, there is diminished returns the more you stack them. So once an enemy gets to that magical number, they just instantly die if they are an elite. That's the key thing here, is it's only elites that have that effect. Okay, got an extra double jump.
Did you get the,
I haven't found him yet. Oh, I see one. Okay.
And the other one's, like, over that. That way.
Okay.
Don't let me mark. And
oh, yep, parents.
Telestat, telepunch. I hate that.
Nothing personal, kid.
I really don't like how they can be attacking while floating in, but again, it may just lag.
I think that one was lag. Those parents have been chasing me for a bit.
I'm not gonna do it.
Like, I've been trying not to fight constantly because my survivability is kind of low at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there was a repulsor plate scrapper.
It's too late in the game for those to stack effectively.
Yeah, so if you go toward the small bridge, you should be able to get another focus gem.
What's that? That's repulsion armor plate. That's bustling fungi.
There's also spice, if you want to do that, because you've got 4 charges.
Yeah, I will pass like hell on that. I like to live.
So yeah, it's to the left.
Left? Okay.
Near that banner, actually.
Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Is that I am just going to kind of actively be running around, trying to survive.
Should be right. I don't think it was up top.
Well, I want to see what this was.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep. So Topaz Brooch is a fantastic item. Every time I kill an enemy, I get a yellow shield. This does work well with my passive effect. So I'm just gonna... Oh, I thought I had more scrap than that. Okay, that's fine. Got rid of a med kit and got a Topaz Brooch. So that's gonna be pretty darn useful. I don't want to stay on this level much longer. Even though we are on ha difficulty, and it looks like the difficulty is no longer scaling, it still is scaling, it just doesn't say it is. Enemies still level up, so on and so forth. So I don't want to be here for too much longer. That being said, like I said earlier, my power level, when that glow you saw on those enemies was a level up for the enemies. My power level is Thank you, game. My power level so much... Oh, hi, boss that just spawned right there. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
God, I have so much I have to deal with that's chasing me right now. Aurelia Knight, I needed you. Okay, it looks like you didn't do up there, so I'm going to do up there, and then I'm going to loop. I'm trying to decide, do I want to fight a boss, or do I just want to go and hit up an artifact?
I mean, you can see which boss it is, and then if it's a terrible one, you can...
The artifact generator is locked when the boss event starts.
Once.
Yep.
What if you plug it in before going to the boss?
Legit question that I don't have an answer to. But it's going to be hard for me to get back up on certain configurations. I haven't seen what the underside configuration is on this one yet.
Sure.
I'm just trying to decide. I can probably deal with it, but there's a lot of big shit on this level at this point. And like I said, I'm squishy.
I don't think they actually spawn under there, though. Like, the flying ones can float down there eventually. But I don't think enemies actually spawn.
I'm talking about if I did the standard teleporter event.
Oh.
Do I just want to go for it? I kind of just want to go for it. I kind of want to kill this, I kind of just want to kill this soulless control unit. And then go for it.
I mean, you can scrap that mushroom you just got. And then get another. Although I think...
Why is he not dead? Crap. Can y'all leave me the hell alone? I need you to do...
Yeah, just go to the artifact.
Running. No.
Yeah, just go straight for the artifact.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, my HP was in double digits, and I think it dropped to single digits for a second there.
You hit 9, then it kicked up to 17.
Do I...
Also,
yeah,
for
for safety's sake.
You didn't pick it up, it's still on the hill.
Wait, yeah, things were killing me. Anything else I want to scrap? What, since I'm coming back here? Not really. Okay.
I mean, the key.
No. More keys are better.
Okay.
What was the other blue? Oh, that was a hellfire. Ooh. That is tempting right now.
What?
That hellfire tincture right there?
I mean, that's the one that I dropped so I could get the opus.
Right, but that is a high I win the teleporter event.
Okay.
Or it's a high I die really fast. It's going to be one or the other. We're going to find out. Because I don't feel like running away. What I do feel like is... Right, it's all the way over there. Okay. I got to go all the way around to get the teleporter. So, Hellfire Tincture. Hellfire Tincture is a lunar item. Therefore, it does good stuff and bad stuff simultaneously and wants to kill me. Hellfire Tincture does a certain amount of damage to me. Then, it does significantly less to my allies and significantly more to my enemies in a giant AoE around me. Hellfire Tincture melts bosses. Just kills them. They're just gone. They just vanish off the face of the earth. So it is a fantastic item in a situation like this where I need stuff to die extraordinarily quickly.
Oh, grab the boys and activate them really quick.
It would put the Hellfire Tincture on cooldown.
No, you don't have the money, never mind.
Also that. I kind of want to kill all this shit so I can get the money, because these are chests.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to do something stupid.
As is tradition.
So this is my AoE. One punch!
I'm still alive. You don't get to say that anymore.
Well, yeah, my health, my damage is low. We've talked about this.
You don't get to say one punch unless it actually dies in one punch.
Hey, like me. Kaboom. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that to happen. I'm just too damn squishy. Hey, Wonder Girl.
Hello, Wander.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with the loader.
I'm gonna stick with NG.
Okay. What I am gonna do is our typical. We died once, so let's do this.
The meme run.
Mm-hmm. No, no command though.
Okay.
This is quasi meme. So like I said earlier, artifacts augment the way the game plays. I activated 2 of them. Artifact number 1 is the artifact of swarms, and you're seeing what the artifact of swarms does right now. double the usual amount of enemies spawn, but they have half the amount of health they usually do. So, very fun to kill large groups of enemies, and wouldn't you know it, the loader is really good at killing large groups of very low health enemies. In fact, so is Medivh.
Yeah.
The other thing we got is the Artifact of Sacrifice. Now, Sacrifice is kind of a goofy one. It's what makes this a meme. So the Artifact of Sacrifice says that chests and shops no longer spawn. 3D printers do, but the others don't. Instead, enemies have a chance of dropping items for us. And the further we go in the game, the higher the chance of them dropping items. Now, the drop chance is slightly reduced because we are on swarms. The chance to drop is reduced by 5%, but the drop chance can never go lower than 5%. So it ends up working out for us. Something dropped near you.
Did it?
Yeah, gasoline.
Gasoline.
Which is nice for you because I already have,
I'm actually going to trade this for a war banner starting out, because that will help.
Not a bad choice.
That's on you. That's on you.
You think so? Okay. I mean, it's good for both of us, but yeah, maybe the first one. So we have to make a choice on how long we want to farm at any given level. The nice thing about Sacrifice is that we, the nice thing about Sacrifice is that we can gain more items, especially as the game goes on. We also get to move quickly. We can go straight to the exit, and because constant enemy spawns, exit over here, by the way. Because constant enemy spawns, we get more items faster. So that's generally what we want to do. But things like the Shrine of Combat that Medivh activated.
That is not a tier 1 enemy.
It's also dead. Because Medivh activated Shrine of Combats typically cause elite enemies to spawn. Elite enemies have an increased drop chance. Therefore, stuff. Do we want Lunar Shop this early?
No, not this early. We have nothing to really trade in.
Because I can actually reach that Lunar Shop. Okay, let's activate. So, by the way, Artifact of Swarms does double all enemies, including bosses. And also, important to note about Artifact of Swarms, bosses or enemies' health is reduced, not their stats. They still do as much damage as they always did. So there's definitely a high chance that you will get swarmed.
Squid ball, my boys.
Let's see. One for each. Let's do it. As I said, I am the holy shitballs. I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna take this. That's better on you. There is a Topaz Roach up there for you, and there's a Squid Polyp up there for you.
Of course, I get the trade.
Well, remember, you can trade. You can trade it in.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have a scrapper on this floor yet.
Yeah, not on this floor. But by the way, have you ever tested scrap with the cauldron? Does the cauldron take scrap first?
No.
No. Okay. I never tried it.
I did test that on one of my famously fun runs. I heard something drop. What drop?
Old Guillotine. So you'll notice I'm trying to stay within the red circle. This is because the teleporter only charges if at least one of us is in, but if only one of us is in, it charges at half speed. So, a lot slower than usual. So I want to be in here as much as possible. That being said, there were enemies out there, so hey, why not? I'll take one of these.
What?
Backup magazine.
You can take both backup magazines, because I don't really use my mine super.
Oh, I only got one. But I said one of these, like, I'll take the one and give you the next one.
Oh. Nah, if it's a backup magazine, they're all close.
It gives me an extra rocket punch, like...
Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, guess so.
And yet, Wanda Girl...
He hasn't recovered.
Yeah, he's not recovered.
Like, if you saw him standing up on that shit, like, that man was basically dying on his feet.
Yeah, he's not recovered, but I guess his, it's hard to say where he's at, because there's been a lot of kind of double talk going around. So he's not recovered, but his case is significantly lighter. Yours, so you take the first one. Yeah. His case is significantly, like, lesser than a lot of people's, so he can afford to kind of go back to work location earlier, and then he can play it off, and he can say that, hey, look, COVID isn't as bad as everybody said, you know, this is brew.
Yeah, but my mom, being the nurse that she is, and both me with my own medical knowledge,
yeah,
that man is literally dead on his feet right now.
Oh yeah, he's probably very tired, you know, but this is a really good political play for him.
The issue is, like, pretty much every doctor that he hasn't bribed, and I'm not even joking about this, has been bribing people to say his health is much better than it is.
Yeah.
Every doctor who has seen him that has not been forced into an NDA is basically saying he has some of the most severe cases. He is in the very dangerous health area for people with COVID.
Yeah, I'm less worried about his health. Like, I'm fine with him reaping what he sows, to be fair. Wanda Girl, I will always be, with very few exceptions, I will always be on the side of giving someone a chance to better themselves. That is one of my, like, that is a core part of who I am, is the concept that everybody should be given a chance to better themselves, and no one should feel ashamed for trying to better themselves. So I will always say he should have a chance to learn. He didn't, and so I will acknowledge that. I will always say that he should. And that doesn't apply to just him. That applies to literally everybody.
And as I was saying, like, he is not in a good place right now. His health is worse off than some of the early cases because he's been downplaying it so much.
Have you seen a scrapper by chance?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
Damn, I wanted those focus crystals. So yeah, don't take that as me saying he will or anything like that. I want people to learn to better themselves. I want people to identify things in them that they could be better about and then proceed to be so.
Although you hear about him not giving out any more stimulus, because apparently he's saying that because he's recovered, which he hasn't, people are just whining about it, so he's cutting off additional stimulus packages. That first one, that's all you're getting.
He doesn't actually get to decide that, thankfully.
No, but he's trying to push for that.
Oh, he can push for it all he wants. You know, Congress decides that. So he can push for it, he can veto it, Congress can counter-veto it, and that's about as far as that goes.
You ready to start?
I think that's one of the... I was actually seeing a lot of comment on this from a couple sources, and yeah, I'm on the way. That's a kind of a major thing Americans have problems with. They believe that the president makes laws. He doesn't. That's what Congress does. So, nice. There's a lot of kind of...
I mean, it's kind of a shitty red.
I would have liked it personally, but...
I mean, it fell on my head.
It is definitely a low-tier red, I'll say that. But on a melee, it's really good.
It just fell on my head.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
To it.
I'm not worried about it. I think that actually works pretty nicely for your turrets, though.
Maybe. If they can survive these. Hey!
Yeah, you finally get to use those fuel cells you picked up.
Alright, we got more polyps. We got, looks like...
that's a neural. That's about 50-50.
You take the neural.
I'll take neural, okay.
The others.
Okay, so the thing about the, Wake of Vultures, it's not a red you see us getting a lot, because we never get it on command runs. So Wake of Vultures says, when you kill an elite, you, for a short period of time, I think it's about 7 seconds, you get the effect of that elite. Yeah. So if you kill a electricity elite, for example, half your health becomes overshield, and every attack you do not only deals, I think, a little bit of extra electricity damage, but it also leaves behind kind of a sticky grenade that then expands and does AoE damage. If you kill a fire elite, you leave behind a fire trail. If you kill an ice elite, your attack's slow, and if you happen to die, you have the explosion. Also, in addition to that...
you want that Freon?
Sure.
That'll actually pair really well with you if you get some crit.
Yep. If you have, if you kill a Celestial, all allies around you get invisibility. If you kill a Malachite, enemies can't heal anymore. So it's kind of cool, and it's better. It's better on a melee character because, ooh, well, guess what is sitting literally right here?
Yeah, I know. I marked it.
Yep, I'm gonna go first real quick and get some of the stuff.
We have crit and speed. Oh no.
I mean, I'm not denying, Wonder Girl, that you predicted it. And honestly, if you recall, I agreed with you saying, yes, this is, you know, quite likely to be the end result of this. You know, that being said, again, I would like to hope for the basic good in humanity and hope that people can be not terrible. The President of the United States is absolutely a huge problem, and a lot of people recognize it. But the problem is he's built a cult of personality, and the issue with a cult of personality is it's very hard for people in a cult of personality to break free of it. Like, it's terribly difficult. And when you're in that, you just don't want to listen to anybody else. That's just kind of part and parcel with it. Okay, so I like my attack speed now. Royal Capacitor. Do I want that over Prion Accumulator?
I have Royal as well.
I think I'm gonna keep the Prion. The trouble that your character has is with big single targets. My trouble is crowds, so... I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not making excuses for him at all. What I am saying is these are the things that are going on. It's really hard for his followers to break free because that's what a cult of personality is. Go ask the folks at Jonestown with their freaking purple Kool-Aid how easy it was to break free of, I forget the guy's name who was in charge of Jonestown. But, you know, go ask those people how easy it was to just leave. Go ask any member, any member of a cult or someone who, you know, thank God got out. Jim Jones, that's right. Ask any person who, you know, thank God got out of a cult, especially dangerous cults. Ask them how easy it was to leave that cult. It isn't. It's hard as hell. So that's the problem with his followers, is that brainwashing is not the word I want to use because that's really not what we're talking about here. But it's very close to brainwashing. It's also...
He's telling people exactly what they want to hear in times when things are not going the way anyone wants. So by playing to their insecurities, he makes them dependent on him.
Yep.
Even if he doesn't deliver, he has enough charisma to make people believe he has a plan.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a thing that, like, he has very much mastered the divide and conquer system. He's mastered us versus them. And these are all fantastic psychological ways to get people to listen to you and to believe to you.
What a spot for the teleporter.
These are just kind of, wow, you have a lot of guys up there.
Not really.
But these are all just kind of things that happen is he has a lot of these psychological tools, political tools that he's very good at. And that kind of adds up. And then also, we're in, you know, as much as I'm sure everybody is tired of hearing this from all the commercials of, you know, big companies that want to pretend they're on your side, we're in unprecedented and scary times right now. During unprecedented and scary times, people want to hear stuff that they are used to. They want to hear that they, you know, the stuff they thought is true. They want to hear that this is not your fault, that we're going to get through this, or that this shit is not as scary as you think it is. People just want to hear that. You can't even blame them for it. They just want to hear, no, this is not as scary as you think it is. And that's the message he's touting.
Honestly, if he just left the foundation of healthcare that Obama placed, which wasn't even meant to be a long-term thing, literally a scaffold for the future to build off of, we would have not had to deal with nearly as much of an issue, because a lot of people forget that in the very first year of Obama's term, he had to deal with swine flu. You want to know why no one can remember swine flu? It's because he went after it quickly and efficiently. Swine flu had extremely similar symptoms and infectivity as COVID-19. In fact, it's of the same strain, but it's different sources. The reason why people have forgot about it is because it was handled properly. But the tuck it under the rug and pretend it doesn't exist methodology does not work. As proven with COVID, which is now a global pandemic, because it was not controlled.
I'm gonna go get 3 more crit glasses, then I think we should start the teleporter event, and then afterwards recheck how we're feeling about our whites.
Honestly, I'm coming over there right now because there's a lot of enemies to kill.
Yep.
And I was going to do very similar things.
I'm pretty good on attack speed. I'd like to get more crit.
I'm 4 away from maxing out my bleed. That's nice. Are you grabbing that one?
I'm letting you grab that one. I'll grab a couple in the future. I have one right now, and you tend to be squishier than me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deeply into the politics. And the primary reason, by the way, I don't want to get too deeply into the politics, is that I flat do not know enough about a lot of these issues to be able to comment more than this is my opinion. I just can't speak intelligently to most of them. And that's one of the... Okay. That's one of the reasons why I really don't want to, like, talk too dearly about, you know, about his politics, because just... Most of them I disagree with, but as much as I don't want to say it, he may have a point on some things. There may, like, not he has a point. There may be some truth or validity to the things that he is arguing or that Republicans are arguing. And that's, I just don't know enough, so it's hard for me to argue the point. Okay, let's go activate, and then we'll see where we are. But for me, the cult following he has, that's the part that scares me. That's the part that I feel is dangerous. You don't want someone in charge that people think can do no wrong, especially when they're proven to do wrong. And you especially don't want people in charge that can't admit that when they have done wrong. And unfortunately, that's kind of what he has done a lot.
I'm gonna quickly scrap my soldier syringes, put 3 of them into glasses, so I have 100% crit, and then grab 4 syringes.
And remember, you're gonna be getting whites from the teleport event.
Yeah, but this way I don't need to worry about coming back.
Yeah. Well, I want to go back anyways, because, like, I just got that Gore's Tome that I absolutely do not want. I'd like to scrap it now for later.
Fair.
Well, we's gonna be healthy, boys.
Unfortunately, I don't have any mushrooms yet.
I'm sure we will find some eventually. Problem is, it's very hard for me to point to a political leader that has done very well, because most of my, like, a lot of the examples I would have given once upon a time have had issues lately. And I can't think of a single political leader off the top of my head that is coming out rosy right now. I've heard a lot of good things about, what's her name? Angela Merkel. I've heard really good things about her lately, but I swear I heard bad things about her a couple of years ago. And Trudeau, for a while, was a golden boy, and then there's complaints about him now.
He's never been.
I got the impression people really liked him for a while.
I mean, as a Canadian, he's good at saying things, and he has put into practice some things that, yes, are beneficial, but on the whole, he's incredibly average. He's not great, he's not terrible, he's just there.
Average is better than most, is the thing.
No. It is better than most, but I'm saying, like, average as far as Canadian.
Canadian might be better than most anyways. Like, I remember greatly, like, complaining about, you know, George W. Bush, for example, when he was president. And looking back, I realized that, well, maybe I wasn't being fair to the man.
I mean, like, Bush wasn't great. He did cause a lot of issues. Like, he did put the country into a financial and unemployment
Yeah.
because he basically forced everything to go into wartime production, which, again, it's a great way to, like, from an economic standpoint, I don't want to say war is good, I'm just saying from an economic standpoint, it was beneficial to the country, but it's only a short-term thing.
Yep.
It has no real long-term effect.
Well, we also got to acknowledge, so again, George W. Bush, I'm swapping out for that. George W. Bush, you know, Republican president. I'm not going to say I'm a Democrat. I am going to say that I have Democratic leanings, but there are things I agree with on both sides of the fence. But I also, you know, acknowledge that he had a lot of shit dropped in his lap. And there's only, you know, no matter how good of a leader you happen to be, there's only so much you can do with some of that shit. Some of that shit was not his fault, just shit happening to him, and you can't blame, you know.
I mean, on paper, probably in recent times, the best president in the last 40 years has been Obama.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because he's a black president. What I'm saying is that from an outside perspective, people seeing what they're doing for your country.
Yeah.
He did the absolute best with what he was doing. He inherited an absolutely shitty economy. He had to fight Congress left and right.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the crystal.
He had to fight Congress left and right to push literally any policy through. Even then, he had to give concessions to said policies, but he managed to get them on paper.
Yep.
So he managed to do all this stuff. He set up an amazing healthcare system. Like, it wasn't perfect, but again, it was a foundation that was meant to be a scaffold for people to work on.
Yeah. I mean, what I end up saying about Obama is, and I firmly believe this. This is my actual core belief. Because he was not a perfect president. I think he was a very good one. But it has to be remembered, and a lot of people forget this because they never say this on television. But the president holds multiple offices that a lot of people forget about. Yes, the president is commander-in-chief. That is one of the offices of the president. But there's also, among others, there is also the office of chief ambassador. They're the highest ambassador in the land. And in a world where we have kind of this more global outlook, we're looking more at, you know, how we interact with other countries. It's a lot easier to talk to other countries. We kind of work with other countries a lot more. I feel that the chief ambassador side of thing is as important or more important. So I want a president who has a way to, you know, work with other countries, to be friends with other countries, to assist. Because if we assist, we will get assisted. It's kind of that two-way street, and we want to have that type of relationship. You know, we want to be able to.
Just look at Canada. I mean, that's exactly what they do.
Yep. I want to be able to be okay. I'm good whenever you are. I want to be able to go and say, yeah, you know, when this earthquake hit Chile, or when that hurricane hit Panama, or when we helped out and we reached out. And then when we had a problem, and it's actually happened, by the way, for those of you who actually are like sitting back and going, yeah, what has ever happened? This happened. We did it the whole time. The United States got known for a long time because we were always helping with every single bad thing that happened around the world. We raised money, we sent help, things like that. Then when shit like Katrina happened, which, you know, close to my heart because I live in around New Orleans, but when Katrina happened, countries were falling over themselves to help us, partially because humanitarian reasons, partially because they were like, oh god, the United States helped us. When freaking and the same thing happened to let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay. And the same thing happened with whichever one that hit Texas really bad a couple of years back. People, like, countries were reaching out to help out. And this has been a thing that has happened. I mean, even recently, this happened just actually recently. Did you hear about this whole nonsense that went on with like the World Lacrosse Championships?
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know, and I didn't know until someone brought this up to me because I don't follow lacrosse, we have a Aurelianite portal right there. But in the World Lacrosse Championships, they recently started up the new championship. They invited a bunch of teams. The problem is, one of the Native American tribes, whose name is escaping me right now, but who is literally the source of lacrosse, like it is a, you know, ritual religious game to them of great significance, and they brought it to the world. They were snubbed because they were not considered to be a big enough nation. You know, they weren't considered to be a big enough deal to be brought in. Which, obviously, that's a huge issue, you know, first and foremost. But, you know, and then when a huge, you know, outcry came about it, and they said, wait a second, you know, this is their game. They should absolutely be involved. Then the organizers went, well, but this is top 8 teams, and we're already full. What can we do? What can we do? Step in the Irish. The Irish, for a long damn time, have had this amazing relationship with the Native Americans. Preliminary, actually, because during one year where the Irish were having a gigantic famine, a Native American tribe, the same one, actually, if I remember correctly, put together basically all the money they actually had, which in today's money is thousands of dollars, but it was like all the money they had, sent it to the Irish and said, here, use this to get food. The Irish put up a statue commemorating the event, and there's constant goodwill between those two cultures. So what does the Irish team do? The Irish lacrosse team says, we're dropping from the tournament, give our position to them. Make sure they're in there, because if it wasn't for them, we would not have this game. That is how that, you know, kind of relationship between cultures and nations should be. We'll help you when you need us most, and you can help us in the future when we need you. Together, we will get through everything. That's how everything should be. Like, that's just cultures. That's how just we should be as human beings. It's a really basic principle. Even if you are the most selfish person on Earth and cannot understand the concept of the milk of human kindness and helping people, you should at least be able to see the pragmatic, selfish nature of, if I do the minimum to help someone, they will help me. But if you're not that pragmatic, really selfish person, you naturally usually feel this way. It makes people feel good to help out. Probably you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's the chest.
Yep, probably you, because I don't really have any way to heal right now. Okay. So it just doesn't do anything on me. You're gonna have bustling fungus.
Okay.
So it's just kind of thing. And I mean, yeah, Wonder Girl, we say in a perfect world. The way you get to a perfect world is you start taking actions yourself, and you spread the concept.
We do have a scrapper on this floor.
I haven't seen anything good to actually pick up, though. Like, yeah, I'm talking in ideals, but the way you make change happen, the way you get to these ideals, is first you do it, and then you tell people about it to get them to do it. It's a really simple thing. It doesn't have to be just, oh, you know, that's a perfect world thing, and then you just pass on it. That's the easy way out. The hard way is to actually do the fucking thing. Like, it's like that with everything. It's very easy to say, yeah, I'm gonna go get in shape. I'm gonna lose pounds. What's really hard is to go to the gym multiple times a week, cut out fast food, cut out soda, cut out these things. That's hard to do. That requires that you actually take action and you actually move and you actually do things. Those are hard things to do, but you can do them. And if you do them, you can show people to do them. There's herd mentality in humans. If we see a bunch of people doing stuff, we tend to do it ourselves to fit in, to not stick out. We want to belong. So the more people that act like decent people, the more other people will actually do it. Fuck those people. Yes, some people will be fucking jerks and they won't act out to help other people. The good news is there are an awful lot of people in this world, and the assholes seem to be in a minority wherever I look. The problem is they're very loud assholes. And that's the issue. The assholes are loud. The good people are quiet, because most good people have no real interest in being recognized for being good, because most of us know that the reward for being a good person is the fact that you were a good person. Doing it is its own reward. So most of us... Okay, there's mine. Oh, wait, no, that was yours.
Mine.
Here's yours. Sorry, I thought it took mine. And no, I'm not saying that, like, you're not doing it. I'm saying it for people who have not done the weight loss thing. I'm talking about the people who do have, like, high metabolisms. There are people out there who think that because they have high metabolisms, they don't, that losing weight is an easy thing. That you don't have to actually work for it. That could be further from the truth. They just don't understand because they don't understand that view. They have never been in that position. That's
Probably
not something wrong with them. It's just...
Probably the best example for a connection to modern shit is the outspoken minority can basically be summed up as cancel culture.
Yep.
It's the people who want to cancel everything because it doesn't agree with what they perceive as what should be. They're the loudest, they're the smallest, and because they talk over literally everyone else, people, media, everything bends over backwards to appease them because no one else is saying anything about it. So they assume everyone has that view.
Wonder Girl, I gotta ask you, because I've seen that... Holy shit. I've seen that thought in a lot of places, so I need to ask you, what is the difference between an action done for the sake of being good and a good action done for the sake of being good and a good action done for the sake of recognition? What's the difference?
A action for the sake of recognition is you're not doing it because it's the right thing to do. You're doing it so that people can see, oh, look at me, what a great person I am.
Is it less of a good action? Is less good achieved?
Yes and no. And I have to explain.
I have to run a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I say yes and no, the issue is if someone does it for recognition and later the person is found to have done it for recognition, the meaning behind what they did is lessened, and people may, out of spite, because humans are petty, undermine the actions that were taken because they were done in essentially bad faith.
So the answer I'm hearing from you is that no, the action is not any less meaningful. People suck.
Yeah.
So the action is still as meaningful. It is still a good action, and that never changed. The difference is that some people, being petty assholes, will say it's not as good because they feel bad that they didn't do it for the same reasons. Because they didn't realize they could have gotten recognition for doing the same thing, or they didn't capitalize on the opportunity when that opportunity was available.
Not quite. It's more like, let's use the universally beloved actor Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
He hasn't done this. But
Yeah.
Let's say his sister has cancer. She's gone through chemo, lost all her hair, etc.
Yep.
He cuts his hair not because he's an actor and wants to promote a message for the world. He does it because he wants to show solidarity with his sister.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
But let's say Justin Bieber did it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he has a sister, but I'm using Bieber because he's the most universally disliked person
Of course.
in
Yep.
Canada. If Bieber did it, he doesn't really do things for himself or rather for family or other reasons. He just does it so that he can be seen as, oh yeah, look at me, I'm fitting in, I'm doing such a good thing. People know that he's not doing it for the sake of helping others. So while the action may increase media presence, people aren't happy with them because or disliking them because of what they did. They're upset with them because of why they did it. It doesn't affect the action.
Okay, let me ask you an important question.
It's the individual that's affected.
So, important question about that. Because, yeah, you absolutely have a point. You know, it would mean less in that terms because you're like, he's not being sincere. Yeah, that Water Girl, I understand that's the point you're making, is the sincerity has something to do with it. Let me ask you this, though. Let's say Bieber does it, right? And his followers, the ones that, you know, don't, you know, see him as being shallow, who actually, you know, actively think that, yes, he, you know, this was a cool thing. Let's say one follower sees what Bieber does, and not thinking he's doing it for fame, thinking he did it out of the goodness of his heart, they are inspired to start doing good themselves. So, Bieber, even though he might be a selfish jerk in his actions, in this hypothetical, even though he's a selfish jerk, he inspired people to do better. Are we still saying that action that he did is somehow lessened because he did it for selfish reasons? He has caused a net gain in good in the world. Regardless of his personal motivations, net positive. Is it still less than... Maybe Keanu Reeves does it, but, you know, for some reason, people, for some reason, turn on Keanu Reeves and they're like, oh, he's only doing... You know, they think the opposite, right? He's only doing this for recognition. You know, all this was, you know, fake. And Keanu Reeves doesn't inspire anyone. Bieber does in this extremely hypothetical scenario. Which one was the... Which action are you going to be happier with? The one done by the selfless person who inspired no one. Maybe because, you know, Keanu, we know Keanu, right? Keanu would not post on social media. He wouldn't make a big deal about it. People probably wouldn't hear about it. So that's probably why it wouldn't inspire anybody. Bieber posts on social media because he wants everybody to see his virtue signaling, but he inspires hundreds of people to go out and do acts of good. So, is that action still worth less? Net gain in the world is more for Bieber than Keanu.
But the argument I was saying wasn't so much as the net positive or net negative based on who does it. The point of the matter was it's based on the individual who does it for the reasons. The effect can still be greater, but the it can be soured if the progenitor was less than ideal. Like, for example, taking someone that everyone knows, Mother Teresa.
Mm-hmm, right.
Mother Teresa...
Who, I will remind you, was nominated for sainthood.
Yes, I know.
Okay,
and
continue.
I'm a Catholic. I'm well aware of Mother Teresa. I'm aware she was nominated for sainthood and all that fun jazz. She did good things for the church and played a persona of, yes, I'm a very good person. But if you actually look into what she did, she was actually a terrible person.
She was a complete dick. She was a complete asshole. Constantly, like, denying help to people who were dying, because in her belief...
Yeah, like, she was the point I'm trying to make, is that she did good things for all the wrong reasons.
Yep.
But until people understand who she was, they thought she was great. But the moment people realized who she was and what she did, a lot of the things that she did, they weren't undone, but people no longer look back on them as fun.
I mean, people have changed their minds on it. What?
Do you not see the number of parents?
I'm in the middle of them. I very much see the number of parents over here. I am actively fighting the number of parents over here. Like, you know, I agree with you, but the point I'm making, and I think not necessarily that it's being missed, but that I think you guys are focusing on the wrong aspect, is that this is not about the person, it's about the action. It doesn't matter, in my belief. So I'm going to say this. This is my belief. You guys obviously think differently, and we might not be able to agree on this one. But it's my belief that it's not the person that necessarily matters in this case. It's the action. If you're a social media influencer and you decide to host a gigantic event to, give food and, housing to the homeless for a little while, if you do this, and a bunch of homeless people now have food and housing, but you did this purely for views, that does not stop a bunch of homeless people from now having food and housing. Yes, you are not the saint that you may look like, but a good deed was still done. Does it make you necessarily a good person? No. But I don't think that the person who does the deed can sully the deed. I think that people can decide it does because people are fucking petty. But someone can do a good deed no matter what, and who they are will never change if the deed was good or not. It just changes who did it. And the more good deeds that we have, the more people that will be inspired to continue to do good deeds. So it doesn't matter if you have a bunch of, if you have 100 quiet people who do good deeds, and then 5 really loud people who do good deeds, but the really loud people are all assholes. It doesn't matter. If the really loud people convince people to do more good deeds, the net good in the world has increased, and eventually, those loud people are outnumbered. And eventually, really loud people who are good will be the ones talking. At some point, the good people win, no matter what. The question is, who has the wherewithal to do it regardless of getting appreciation for it?
Are we good to start?
Yeah, we go. I'm, right over here with you. Let me go get towards the center. Okay, where do we got? I missed entirely. That was a whiff. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that good deeds can absolve bad people. You need to do a lot more than 1 or 2 good deeds to kind of counteract, your own actions. Absolutely. But, yeah, I'm firmly of the belief that the more people who do good, the more good there is in this world. And the more good there is, the more good there will continue to be.
Yeah, I got my energy drink that I was supposed to get last mission, or last level.
Did we actually get boss items out of that?
That wasn't the boss.
Oh, I thought we activated. Okay, let's activate.
Now we're activating.
I thought that was the activation. Okay, overloading worm. Okay, Aurelionite, let's kill this bitch. Ow, that hurt my face. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
See, I was fine with the worms, but then parent decided,
yeah,
hey,
then the parents.
They're just bad. They're bad parents.
Wait until we get the grandparent boss. Then you're gonna wish it was these parents.
I don't think the grandparents in this one.
It's not in yet. He was cut content because they didn't have time to make him. In the free content patch they're planning on dropping soonish. The free content patch will include the grandparent apparently.
Lovely.
I don't know what that boss is like, so I couldn't tell you much more than that. I need you to die. I'm having so many frame rate issues because there's so much shit going on right now.
It's entirely the worm. It activates too many things.
Yeah. It's gonna die soon, like between me and the fucking Aurelionite. Okay. That was not it dying. Oh, that was me dying. Okay. It popped up right next to me. God damn it!
Yeah.
Our luck has not been solid.
Do we activate command now?
Every
lock we activate another
sure.
artifact.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn these off. Okay, we'll do command. Let's do the command run. That being said, we almost had a command run anyways. So,
yeah,
Nightlink.
we got some good stuff starting.
Yeah, for me, it's not really my place to decide if you're a good person or a bad person. I'll absolutely make that statement, in my opinion, that this person is a good person or a bad person. But it's not really my place to make that decision. It's not my place to weigh your actions. It's my place to decide if I feel you are good or bad, to decide, am I going to continue to interact with you, to support you, to be aware of you, and to do stuff like that. But that's, you know, that's about as far as I can go, just as a human being. And that's not even, like, a religious thing in that, like, it's God's decision to you know, to judge you. I don't know you, I don't know your position, I don't know your motivations for doing things. You may have a very good reason to do bad things, but all I see is the bad thing. And because of my point of view, I may only see the bad thing and not see all the great things that you did. I may see the one shitty thing that you've ever done in your life, but that's going to color my perception. So it's very, you know, hard for me to criticize you because of that.
So as I said, I'll take the far side.
Yeah. Like I said, going back to kind of the reason that this was brought up, the reason that we got on this topic conversation, I mean, yes, it is a very idealistic viewpoint to hope that we reach a point where, you know, nations help each other and act. The thing is, we were there once. This is not a new concept. This is not a rare concept. This isn't a wishful thinking. We did it once upon a time. This is a thing that existed. The thing is, we don't currently have a leader who believes in it. That's the problem. We can fix that one.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, now it doesn't happen, and that's absolutely true. At the moment, it's not happening. But that's a question of who's in charge and who is making the decision of, do we help others? That's not us not wanting to do it. It's not us having the lack of motivation to do it. It's not, do the people want it? It's, does the leader push towards it? We have had leaders in the past that did, regardless of their political affiliation. George W. Bush did just as much foreign aid as Obama did, as far as I'm aware. And so did previous Republicans. So that doesn't, you know, what political affiliation you have does not change that. We have someone right now who believes that helping other people is a form of weakness and they should owe us, and that's just not how that shit works.
And that's basically, that one reason is pretty much why the United States is considered the laughingstock of the world currently.
Oh yeah, right now. That's the thing that pisses me off. How are there enough votes to get Donald Trump elected? Because the loud assholes were the ones that talked, and the quiet, good people did not speak. That's why. Also, because the Democrats are fucking morons.
There was also a lot of manipulation behind the scenes. I'm not saying voter fraud or anything like that, but he did do a lot of pay for smear campaigns and shit.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's always smear campaigns. I think for me it was that Donald Trump went after a very large group of people that he knew he could get votes out of, which is middle-class white men. Because a lot of the things that he spoke for are things that, of the past decade or so, middle-class white men are scared of.
I would like to point out funny thing though about his promises.
None of them have happened?
No, he actually did do one. The 3 things that Donald Trump promised when he was voted in office that he would have complete by the end of his first term. He would build the wall.
Didn't happen.
B,
right.
He would restructure healthcare. And C, he would He would reopen coal mines and labor positions. All right. So here's how it went. There have been inquiries to coal mines, but no surveyors have gone out to actually see if they are viable or to see if new mines can be opened. He basically had someone ask questions, and that was it, full stop. He didn't do anything more. He didn't even allocate funding. The wall. He started the project. He built it on fear-mongering. He was trying to see what would the cheapest way to do it be, and that would involve going through several American residential homes. And when he realized he would have to pay these individuals to relocate,
why'd I do that?
Some total of maybe like 12,000 total, right? Which big number, but on paper it's not really that much if you're looking grand scheme of things. Cost too much. He wouldn't go through with it, so he scrapped that project. Restructuring the healthcare system. This he's actually done. What did he do? He completely got rid of Obamacare.
Well,
that's it. He didn't add anything new, but that's technically restructuring it. Because
he hasn't gotten rid of it. It's not gone. He's damaged it, but he has not gotten rid of it.
It's pretty much a ghost of itself, and it was originally supposed to be a foundation to build off of. Now it's just what? It's negligible.
The big problem, Zach, is that Americans, when we're taught in school, are taught that it's one man, one vote. It isn't in America, and that's something that we're all very upset about lately. Okay, finally. Okay, this is the last thing on my side.
Okay, I'm just waiting at the teleporter.
Yeah, be there in a second. So the thing is, Wander, is that Donald Trump did a couple things. Now, again, I need to really preface this. This is my knowledge. It might be wrong. And if it is wrong, please, God, someone say something. So it might be wrong. But what ended up happening is Donald Trump pandered to a very specific group. And the problem is it was a very large group. It was, middle-aged, middle-class white men. And the problem is a lot of stuff has happened lately that has scared the shit out of middle-class, middle-aged white men. Number one is the influx of... are we ready? Y'all set?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Number one is the influx of, what Donald Trump would call immigrants. But what really is just there's an influx of people who are not middle-aged, middle-class white men who are becoming successful. And they're becoming successful regularly. And so it's not easy to just freely get the shit that this group used to get. You can't just get free jobs, things like that. The good jobs that used to be there in stuff like factories that paid a lot, they don't exist anymore. You have to actually work to get a job that's good nowadays. Actually, and that's something new.
I have something to bring up on that regard. So my mother, she's currently in California, and she's head nurse at her hospital. Okay? She is a Canadian. She is not an American. She was hired from Canada to be their head nurse because previously she worked for them back when my dad was posted down there, and so she had a legal green card and all that fun stuff. But she now has a position of quite good pay and standing that the doctors and residents at the hospital are now actively trying to get her fired because she is not an American and she is essentially taken their jobs. HR keeps laughing at them and telling them to fuck off, but they're still pushing for it. So because they can't do it legitimately through the proper methods, what they're doing is they're basically trying to ruin her reputation and stress her out to the point that she just quits. Because that's how it's working.
Yep.
It is disgusting.
So the big problem is he ended up focusing on this group this group has gotten afraid of a lot of things. They've gotten afraid of feminism. Feminism is something that terrifies this group. And it's not because they think feminism is bad. So I need to make sure that's very clearly stated. It's not that they think feminism is bad or they're against, you know, the rights of the woman or anything like that. The reason they're scared of feminism is because the role of a woman is growing. Things a woman can do is growing. Things a man can do is not growing. So what this looks like to someone who's in that not growing group, this is not true at all, but what this looks like is I'm losing things. I'm being hurt in some way. And that's what it looks like to them. Now, this is not true at all. You know, women can have more jobs and work outside of the home and not just be Susie Homemaker without depriving men jobs. But it doesn't look like that to a man. Or these men, specifically.
Standard split?
Sure, I'll head towards the back. But there's also more than that. So it used to be that the woman's role was to, you know, be Susie Homemaker, take care of kids, things like that, and the man's job is to bring home the bread. And now, it's a wonderful thing for a woman to go and get a job and have a career and actually have a life outside the house. But culturally, and keep in mind, this is men's fault, not women's fault. Culturally, it is bad, generally speaking, or generally viewed, for a man to be a stay-at-home dad. He's considered to be a deadbeat by American culture. Now, don't ask me why, I think it's fucking stupid. But he's considered to be a deadbeat. He's considered to, you know, to be negative. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. So the kind of rise of feminism is not only making men feel like, oh, I'm dead. Okay, yep, fire.
Oh.
I got hit by a freaking fire elite, and then I got lit on fire. But he feels like his, you know, his opportunities are being reduced, and his role's not being increased. So he's being attacked on all sides by He's being attacked on all sides by immigrants and foreigners, right? So people are coming to this country the way they should be, the way our country has always been. But people are coming from outside of the country that are better educated, that work harder, that are getting jobs. Jobs that the lazy basically don't want to do. So they're doing that. Women are getting more rights, and it's becoming okay for them to actually have a full life the way it should be. That's also scary. And Donald Trump played on that. He played on that fact. He said we're going to deport people who shouldn't be here. We're going to get rid of the people who want to be Americans. We're going to keep them out with a wall. He built up all this. He played on these fears. So he pandered to this very large group, and he pandered to a couple of other groups too. And the problem is and he was kind of the only candidate of any real standing in the Republican side. There were some other candidates, but he was always kind of a clear frontrunner because of these. He knew how to play to a crowd. The Democrat side had two people they could run. They had Bernie Sanders and they had Hillary Clinton. And the problem is that a lot of the stuff Bernie Sanders was going for is stuff that a lot of Democrats like and a lot of Democrats very much don't like, and it's kind of scary.
Wow.
Holy crap. So Bernie was kind of scary, so a lot of people in the Democratic National Convention literally took action to make sure that he would not get the nomination no matter what.
Can I go 3 for 3?
Go for it. And I wish... Oh my
Holy
god.
Shit.
I wish this was a joke, but this actually did happen. There were people in the Democratic National Convention which made sure he would not be the pick. So they picked Hillary Clinton. Now, Hillary Clinton might not have been a bad choice. She could have definitely done things to act and to be a good president. She would have been the first woman president, which would have been amazing. She already had a political career, so she had background. She had some good positions. The problem is...
She had her husband who could help her out.
Had her husband who has a background, who can, he knows shit. I mean, she knew everything, too, because she was First Lady. She knows it all. She doesn't need her husband to help her. But she would have a wealth of knowledge to her. We would have kind of... one of the big problems, it was a dynasty issue. Like, you don't... People are not happy with presidents passing down with the same name because it's too much like a king. But you had Hillary Clinton. And the problem is, Hillary Clinton reached out to a lot of amazing groups. She reached out to the Latino group. She reached out, as far as I remember, to the African-American group. She reached out to women. She basically did not reach out to men. She kind of ignored half the population. And this was a really great way for her to lose an election. Yes, she won popular vote, But the problem is, because the Electoral College, popular vote's not all that matters, and a lot of the, electoral voters are, wouldn't you know it, men. So she made some mistakes. And the problem is that to this large block of voters that mattered, Donald Trump was louder. And that unfortunately happens. Loud people tend to win. What that means is that we, the rest of us, have to be loud. We cannot sit back and go, it'll fix itself. We can't do it. We have to act ourselves. We cannot say someone else will take care of it. No, we will take care of it. We cannot sit back and go, my vote doesn't matter. Fucking vote! We have to actually do it ourselves. That's kind of the point of all of these rock the votes. It's why Biden has continuously been saying, go out and vote. And it's also why he's saying, if I do not win, I will accept it. Because he will accept the concept of democracy. He's okay with losing as long as the American people decided that. But you have to vote. You have to be active. You cannot be quiet about it. Quiet people are great in terms of building, momentum. But the loud people are the ones that have to actually do the damn job to get other people involved. For every, 100 quiet people, we need one loud one to grab one quiet people. I forget if I told this story. I had a friend who, very much Republican, military, and he was amazed at a school, I bet if you already know the story. He was amazed at this school curriculum that he was being shown online, and he wanted me to agree with him. This school curriculum was ridiculous. I said, okay, show it to me.
Look at that overshield.
Yeah, it's amazing. Overshield already. That's just stupid. So I looked at the curriculum, and the curriculum is it's not actually, he said that whoever made it for a school district should be fired and the school district would be fined. It's actually not from a school district. It was actually from a independent political organization. And the entire curriculum was about equality and activism. And the idea is it was a K through 12 curriculum that was meant to teach people these are some major causes you should look at. Things like Black Lives Matter, things like, LGBT equality, so on and so, transgender rights, things like that. It was meant to teach about those and why they're important, but it was also meant to teach kids and young adults how to identify an issue that they see in their community and how to act on it. The problem is, my friend is of the opinion that activism is, tantamount to terrorism or something like that. I'm still trying. I still do not understand exactly where he was coming from. But
I'll open that and see if we go for it.
Go for it. But he was of the opinion that activism is a bad thing. And when I kept on pointing out, yeah, the activism is go talk in your community about why this is a bad thing and get people to try to change it. And then one of the actions that the curriculum recommended was paint a mural. What he read in paint a mural was graffiti. And I'm like, no, in New Orleans, we commission people to paint murals about things we care about. But he saw graffiti. So he's of the opinion that activism is a bad thing, and the problem is it isn't. People should be activists. You should always, and as it is your right as an American, and I believe in many other countries as well, you should speak up about things that you are concerned about. You should talk about things that you want to see changed. In America, that's our First Amendment right. I am pretty damn sure that right is in other countries. The problem is I don't know where it falls in your particular legal structure. But that's your right to act. It is your right to campaign. It is your right to talk to people and convince them, and it's your right to bring them to the legislature and get them to take an action. If they take one or not is up to them. That's not up to you. But it's your right to be an activist. The problem is what he saw is this was indoctrination, convincing people that these particular things were a big deal. And he thought it was teaching kids, again, to effectively be terrorists, to take actions that might not be legal, so on and so forth. I didn't have the heart to tell him about, sit-downs and, the Stonewall riots and so on and so forth.
I gotta mention this right now before I forget. The synergy between the hammer and the bazooka is glorious.
It's amazing. Yep. But there are people like that who, you know, they think that because it is what it is now, because it's the status quo, that means it's good. And that's not the case. The status quo is not always good. The law is not always correct. That's why we have the ability to change it. If the law was always correct, we would not need Congress. If the law was always easy to interpret, we would not need judges. We would not need courts. But we do need these things, because none of that is true. This shit is not easy. This shit is not always true. It used to be the law that women could not fucking vote. That shit got fixed. And why did it get fixed? Because of activists. It used to be that black people were not considered to be a whole person compared to a white person. God damn it. I keep on getting killed by fire elites. They keep on setting me on fire, and I can't get enough items to heal myself. But it used to be that they were not considered to be a whole person. Hi, Martin Luther King Jr., let's see what you did. It used to be that gays and lesbians did not have the right to marry, transgenders had no rights whatsoever, high Stonewall riots. These are loud people taking loud actions. And you have to be one of those people. Alternatively, you can choose to not be one of those people, but if you choose to not be loud, you have zero right to complain about this shit. If you choose to take no action, you have no right to complain about the things that are actually going on. What is my actions? My action is talking to the 4 of you in the audience and whoever else watches this video about my beliefs in the hope that you follow along. If nothing else, my action is to convince you guys to A, better yourselves, and B, be good to other people and convince them to pass it along.
Yeah,
There's not much more else I can do.
I am also a practitioner of pay it forward. It's good policy.
I love pay it forward.
In fact, I just did that earlier. I was playing Phantasy Star Online of all things. A guy was having difficulty with a item he was trying to upgrade. Fairly expensive to upgrade, but he ran out of materials. I'm just like, hey, hand it over here for a second. Had someone who knew me from the community vouch for me.
Yep.
He gave me his ring. I logged out and kept. No, I didn't. I upgraded the ring, and I didn't just go to the 1 level. I brought it all the way to level 20, which was its max.
Yep.
And I didn't even charge them like the cost of transaction. I just straight up did it for free, and that's all I told them. Pay it forward, and you're in a better position to help another player.
Everybody has the ability to do this shit. Everybody. Bar none. It doesn't matter who you are. You have the ability to do this shit. It doesn't matter how much of it you do. It can be as simple as, you know, buying someone's coffee if they look like they're having a hard time. If someone in front of you in Starbucks is having trouble finding enough money to pay for their fucking $4 latte, and you have an extra $4, it may be a good time to just pay for their coffee. It's not going to cost you anything. It's going to make their day.
I wouldn't do that for Starbucks.
Well,
Starbucks,
you know what I mean.
not. Yeah. I'm just like, Starbucks isn't fucking coffee.
A couple of months back, I was going in for grocery shopping, and there was a guy outside who looked a little bit impoverished, but it was kind of hard to say, you know, is he or is he not? And he was asking for money for food. And my first statement, which is my automatic statement, because New Orleans is famous for grifters, is that I'm sorry, I don't carry cash. This is true. I do not carry cash as a general rule for a variety of reasons. And panhandlers, grifters are one of them, because I feel very guilty to not give something. Which is the point, obviously, of what they're doing, but regardless. But what struck me was this guy was not asking for just money. He was not asking, do you have a little cash? He said, I'm hungry. Can you help me buy some food? So after I parked, I got out, chased him down, and said, hey, there's a Burger King in there. Do you want me to just buy you a meal? And he was yes, please. And that was it. That showed me that, no, he didn't want money for, you know, for drugs or for alcohol or something like that. He was legitimately hungry. And he came in, I bought him a meal. And I'm not saying this because I want congratulations. I'm saying this because it was me realizing that, no, actually, there is something I can do today to help this man out. My hope, and I didn't stay for him to eat or anything like that. I didn't stay and wait for thank you. hey, your food's paid for. They'll take care of you in a second. Enjoy the rest of your day. But that, I'm hoping, made his day. On the flip side of it, I was shopping for groceries recently, and I was going through the aisles, picking out what I wanted, and the problem is I'm not really a cook. I'm learning how to cook, but I'm not a cook. So I was going through the aisles, and I was picking up a couple of items, and Twinny, one of her big things is her family loves good food, right? They love fantastic food. They're very big foodies. They love cooking for themselves. They have a vegetable garden out back. And she was always trying to convince me to cook. And one of the things they were talking about when she was trying to give me advice is that, like, spices make food. Like, good spices. You are beautiful, yes. Good spices can fix a meal. And good spices can make a bland meal tasty. So I was just kind of browsing along and looking through spices, and I saw these two women who were there, and they were just talking about spices, and they were trying to leave, and I thought for a second, I pulled out my earphones, because usually I shop with the earphones on to, distractions. I don't like hearing a lot of noise, so on and so forth. And I said, excuse me, can I borrow one of your time? And they were a little bit confused. It's not very often that a younger white guy is going to reach out to two older black women and ask for a moment of their time. And I had a shopping cart full of food, so obviously I wasn't, a survey person. So, they're like, sure, how can we help? And I said, look, do you two cook a lot? And they kind of laughed a little bit about that question and said, yes, yeah, we cook a lot. And I said, look, I'm not really a cook. I'm trying to learn. Can you tell me what spices every cook should have? And they said, oh, sure. And they named, like, 12 spices that I should buy. And, I thanked them for their time, because this was very helpful. I immediately bought the 12 spices. Went on with the rest. I thanked them for their time again. And then went on with the remainder of my shopping. So, later on... Again, they seemed a little bit tickled pink that I asked for their opinion on it. And they wished me well, and they kind of went on with the rest of their shopping. Well, I'm about 45 minutes later, I have gotten all the shopping done that I intended to do. Nope. Yep. I'm too weak now. I can't keep up. Yeah, I can't even get a single item. Elites keep on tracking me down and killing me before I can get an item. But so they were tickled pink, right? So 45 minutes later, I'm going into self-checkout. And I hear someone saying, sir. And I looked around, and they were over there in a different line. And they said, hey, by the way, you should also get Tony's. And I said, Tony's? And they said, yeah, Tony's spice mix. It's a southern spice mix that everybody down here uses. They said, it's amazing, it'll change your life. And I said, thank you so much, pulled out of line, went to get it, came back. They went out of their way to find me again to make sure I got Tony's. And by the way, I've tried Tony's, it's fantastic. It's, salt, pepper, a lot of different spices in there. It's a very cool mix. But it tickled them pink that they were able to help. Like, I think they were very pleased they were able to reach out. That's the asshole that killed me. But also, I was really pleased because I was able to reach out to someone who definitely knew more than I did, and my cooking is definitely going to be better for it.
He is dead.
There's a Discord I'm part of that I got invited to, just a group of small friends, and I'm a friend of one of them. And they, they're constantly talking about health to each other, mental and otherwise, constantly talking about, they're talking about food to each other, they're constantly supportive of another. It's a small kind of insular group, but it's built on the concept of friendliness, interaction, support, and helping where you can. They even do, the administrator of this group regularly posts announcements when one member has an issue. Recently, a member had, I think it was car trouble. So they just posted, hey, here's the GoFundMe. Another member is helping a different member with medical bills, and they were doing writing commissions for short stories to help raise money. That got in the announcements as well. It's just built on the concept of we will help each other. And this is something that people should just do. Nobody's looking for credit for it. People are just like, no, we're going to help. We will reach out and assist each other. That's just what we're going to do. And yet, Wander, I typically don't talk about stuff that I do because I don't think there's any reason to. But if it's an example that will help others, that's when I bring it up. Or, if, again, as I'm very big on the concept of self-improvement, that you can find ways to improve yourselves. And one of the ways you can improve yourselves is be more charitable, help your fellow man, things like that. I will always encourage that, and that's one of the only times I'll bring this shit up. Anybody who, you know, especially in a forum, specifically there to talk about this stuff, anybody who belittles you for that, fuck them.
Give them my villains.
You're allowed to feel good about doing good things. That is the reward for doing good things. And occasionally, from people whose opinions you value, opinions you value, Meta.
I kind of want to play Super Mario RPG now.
But opinions, people who have opinions that you value, it's nice to hear them say, to applaud you for something you did. All of us want that. We want validation. There's nothing wrong with that. Those people are just fucking assholes. Okay, go proliferate, go do good deeds. Help other people. I'm gonna laugh so hard at this somehow turn into a white and it's just like, ah, you got fucked.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of wanted to get the Happy Mask, but this finishes my invincibility set.
Yeah, I have like kind of a mental ranking system on a lot of these items. Wow, that's a frightening boss.
No, they ain't.
I would have been dead instantly. I have a mental ranking system of a lot of the items, and items I'll pick up first, items I don't want to pick up. And Happiest Mask, as much as I love the effect, is kind of low on that list. Definitely not the lowest, but it is definitely not an item that I would prioritize. Also on that list is the item that decreases your cooldown on active items when you kill something. That's low on my priority list.
You get 198 health per tick, and I'm ticking 3 times a second.
Yep. Sentient Meat Hook is low on my priority list. The Winter Relic is low on my priority list.
Next map, just follow me around.
Sure. As I bring up the tab menu to compare your item list to mine.
No, what I'm saying is that like you get all the items.
No, I got you. I'm bringing it up mostly so people realize how bad this has gone between me and you. I have 13 items. I think you have 30-something.
Next to each other? Okay.
Soul's Control unit over there, and there's a magma worm somewhere around here.
Let's go this way first. First, Child of the Mountain. Gotta hit that.
Mm-hmm.
There is no choice. You must hit Mountain.
Bunch of shit just spawned.
Yep. Come down here. I have a bubble up safe.
God, that gave no money whatsoever. Jesus.
I mean, I'm still gonna open shit for you.
I appreciate it. Do you have all the skins by now?
Yeah, I got them all.
That's what we're doing, Zach. Medith is going to basically act as a human shield for me for a bit, in order for me to get some survivability going. So, like, the first item I'm gonna buy is a teddy bear, and the second item I'm gonna buy is a teddy bear, and the third item I'm gonna buy is a teddy bear.
There you go. There's a teddy bear. Here's another teddy bear. I'll actually convert it for you.
Oh, okay. Ah!
Apparently, it doesn't want to do that.
Ow. The good news is that even when dead, you do still level up at the same rate as living players. So I still deal as much damage as I would if I lived through all of this. So that hasn't changed. The difference here is just the amount of items I have, so the effects of those items. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. Sure.
Honestly, it's better that it was for you, because you need them, not me.
Yep.
Soulless. How are you, my friend? Would you like to...
So yeah, this tends to happen a lot on Risk of Rain. It's one of the downsides of Risk of Rain, I find, is that just it's very easy to fall behind if you die.
I mean, usually it's supposed to be you wipe.
Yeah, pretty much. Like on single player, me dying would have been a wipe, and I would have been just dead. In multiplayer, it's a little bit different. There's another Souls Control unit over here.
There's a red for you.
Okay, I am. Oh God! Nope, nope, nope.
Don't
nope.
you dare fucking die!
I am
Swear to
trying
God.
not to. Shit just spawned. You know that shit that always happens to you? It happened to me. Shit just spawned on me. Oh God! 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 I am. Yes, I'm trying to get items.
You just had to follow me. That's all you had to do. There, you got 2 reds.
Nice.
Aegis. And
Yeah.
whatever the fuck the other horns are.
Aegis. Yeah, I'm gonna get the rejuvenation rack, and then I just have to build healing in. Okay,
Now we both got a fine rack.
Yep. By the way, do not get any passive AoE kills or kill effects if you can help it. I don't think you've gotten very many. But like,
I don't even have one.
Well, you have ukulele and you have
Ukulele isn't on kill; it's on hit.
Yeah, I mean effects that will passively kill things. Because on the next level, I want to see if we can get Hermit Crab.
Okay.
Because it's one of the last things I have to do before we can actually, like, hey, let's have fun, actually, fuck!
Who's coming to me this guy?
Nope, I'm fine. Mostly fine. Probably fine. No, I keep on, like, as I'm it's one of the things that I dislike about Command. As I'm selecting things, like, fucking mushrooms keep on putting fire below me.
No, that's because mushrooms are assholes.
Get me out of here! Nope! Ah, fuck. Yeah, this one mushroom over here continuously puts down a fire field below me. I have now killed it, but... That, by the way, is why I chose electricity as my boss item, for that boss item. Okay, game, can I have some items? Where are my items?
There's one. I opened it for you.
Yeah, I'm on the way. It's just apparently up here has absolutely fucking nothing.
There are 2 whites over here. Soul's drone is dead.
Nice. Appreciate you.
Green. I kind of want to get a leech seed.
Go for it. I mean, we're only going to floor 8, so we don't have to be too powerful.
Okay.
Once we actually, once I get all of my fucking skins, I want to start doing infinite loop runs. Let's see how stupid shit gets.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, grab one of those. Yeah, I'm starting to be in a pretty good place.
I need to warn you. Okay. We have 3 mountains.
It just means that we're gonna have an overloading worm.
Not necessarily.
Pretty likely. Not guaranteed, but pretty likely. Okay, apparently I don't kill you very quickly, so I'm gonna run away. You've got most of the stuff over here. I'm
heading toward the exit. It was under the roundabout, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
No, parent, leave me alone. Yeah, I think you got just about everything on this side, so we should be pretty good. I am on the way.
Want me to just start it?
Yep, I'll be there soon. Hey! But should look at that. There was an overloading worm over there once upon a time.
What worm? You grab 2 of the knurls.
That, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Fucking mushrooms decided to just eat us, delete us. Even though it was only 1 puddle, it ticked like 30 times.
Yeah, the amount of damage off of mushrooms. It was also an elite that did it. That's why you died so fast, is that it was an elite.
Well, no, it just ticked stupid fast.
Right, it's an elite, that's why.
Tick speed isn't affected by that, it's damage.
I think there were also 2 of them.
No, I was only in the 1 puddle. It might have been the lag, because, as you know, with 12 Fantasy 14...
Also, I gotta say, fucking Hellfire Tincture plus Razor Wire is hysterical. Every tick you get does set off Razor Wire.
Honestly, I think it's retarded how the mushrooms actually do just, like, naturally sprout fire. It's like, you're a fungi.
It's just something they did in the old game, which is why they do it in the new game. Okay, I'm starting to one-punch things again. Okay, so we are going to be seeing... Well, actually, maybe we won't. That's frightening over there. I'm running the other direction. Fuck that shit. I see you are of a similar mind. We might not see hermit crabs on this level.
No, well, they can show up. It's just, it's not an ideal location for them.
Yeah. Okay, can I have sexy red items? No. I'm heading up.
Okay, I'll stay down.
How, with all of the items you have you not gotten 100% crit?
Because I haven't been focusing on it. I've been focusing on not dying.
Good point.
I think not death is the most advantageous thing I can have right now.
You know what? You're not wrong, and given that I have died many times and you have not, you are obviously the more prepared person in this situation. You apparently make better choices than I do.
Sometimes.
So Malachite enemies are a type of elite. If a Malachite enemy deals damage to you, your ability to heal is turned off for a short period of time. Something like 8 to 10 seconds, but that's long enough to kill you. So Malachite enemies are literally the scariest elite in the game. I have lost more runs to Malachite enemies than to most other elites combined. Still happy with my Hellfire Tincture, so I don't think I'm replacing that. Looks like that's it. Where the hell is the egg? Oh, here.
Just give me a hot second.
Yep. And that sound, by the way, is a Malachite spawning. Those circles is a Malachite doing scary things. The big thing Malachites do is they spawn these kind of, like, minefields. And if you touch those minefields, you also lose the ability to heal.
Alright, go ahead and start us.
I found one more item. Hold up. Okay. I'm helping. And believe it or not, I actually did. I killed 2 of those all by myself. Mommy, wow, I'm a big boy now.
Don't tell them about the giant Creon that was flying through them.
You shot in the other direction. You didn't shoot at mine.
I shot over there. I shot my Creon over there, and then I focus fired on the one over here.
Oh no. Let me have my wins, damn it. So few and far between as it is.
I told chat, don't tell you that.
By the way, if we do see the Newt altar, I do want to get us some prayer beads.
Okay.
Freaking Whip will probably immediately erase my ass, but...
I'm so fucking healthy!
There is so much health going on your side of the field.
I'm getting 334 health per tick 3 times in a row.
And then the Malachite comes in, pokes you once, you instantly die.
No, because that overshield doesn't get deleted by Malachites. It would remain until it wears off.
Oh yeah, then yeah, the one hit gets rid of your overshield, now you can't heal anymore.
It's 3,000 overshield.
I've had it happen before. I have been 100 to 0'd because of Malachite. Well, 200 to 0'd because of overshield. Well, I try to get the blue item for the obliterate. Yes, that's what we were just talking about. The prayer beads that I'm talking about are the what's the name of that item? Yeah, the thing that makes obliterations really worth it, that gets you the lunar coins, is the thing that I want.
Well, you still get 5 coins when you obliterate.
Do you?
Yeah, it's 20 total if you kill Mithrix as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, apparently I'm over here now.
Did you get yeeted?
No. A stone giant zapped me, and I just got kind of launched a little bit because I was currently in the air. Oh, hi, Malachite. Can you maybe take your Malachite ass and go elsewhere? For I do not wish to deal with you. I am taking this scavenger for myself to catch me up.
Yeah.
If I survive him. I might not survive him. Wow, Mommy, what big teeth you have. I'll get a feather on my next screen. That's a good idea. Dude, you die in 4 seconds, okay? Oh god, there's a Malachite nearby. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Please die, please die, please die. Please die, please die, please die. Oh god, oh god. Stay away from me. Stay away from me, you little oh god. I'll be back for you, bag of goodies. I promise. Once the very scary things are no longer just kind of sitting everywhere.
Okay, my turret is here.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
That's a good haul.
And not a single red was had that day.
I'm giving you covering fire from all directions, so...
Appreciate you.
I'm going to stand in the middle as well, so that was a healing... There you go. I should get some bleed.
You don't have bleed?
No, I don't.
Wow. This man is one of the strongest forces in the universe, does not have bleed.
Where is Mr. Cloud?
God damn it.
Oh, you just... I was rocket jumping my way over the hood of the thing.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. From what you were saying, it sounded like you were looking for the nude altar.
Well, that too.
I haven't found that either. One of the items I'm hoping they add, and there is actually like a potential chance they'll add this. The 56-leaf clover used to give enemies a chance to drop items. Just that was its effect. I'm kind of hoping they re-add that in.
I mean, isn't that now just the artifact?
Well, there was also an artifact that just flat did this. 56-leaf clover was a red item, and you could stack it. Okay, we look mostly farmed out.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Keep an eye open for...
The Malachite enemy that just spawned?
No, I don't do it in. Alter.
I haven't seen it yet. In before Medivh dies due to Malachite enemy in 3. Okay, I can one-shot elites again. I am happier. Can it be down in the secret cavern? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't really check it.
Go look. It is not down here. No, I should just do this. It's not on top of the pillar. here. I don't know all the places the Newt altar spawns on this level. I really only know one place the Newt altar spawns in this level.
I mean, it should be here.
I'm sure it is, somewhere. The question is it in one of a normal area, or is it an area that you have to explore to get to, like I am?
I mean, I could quickly tab out, but I want to get myself to a relatively safe location if I do
Right.
that.
By the way, for those who are curious why I don't regularly get the Hopu Feather on the loader, the things I am doing is why I do not normally get a Hopu Feather on the loader. Because she can just go fucking anywhere she likes and does not need a Hopu Feather, typically.
Well, I'm just gonna make my own safe land.
On the final stage where I need to jump, she'd do just fine.
Over there, in the water, underneath one of the branches that are crossing.
Okay.
Right around here.
Hi, Malachite. You stay over there, and we won't have any problems today. I'm not seeing it.
It doesn't give an actual description, it's like a picture. It doesn't help very much. I'm trying to find where it's...
Oh my god, there's Malachite fucking everywhere. No lie, I'm starting to think, fuck it, move on.
I mean, it says it could also be behind that rock there.
Okay, I'll go look up there. Nope. Not up here.
Damn it, where can it be? Yeah, I'm not seeing it at all.
Okay, let's just get out of here.
I mean,
Not back
actually,
here, huh? No.
If I can get up there, I don't have the hops to do it.
Okay, activating. Oh, hi, enemies.
My Freon is great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's Malachite. That's Malachite. That's Malachite. Nope, I'm backing the fuck up, and you got that one. You know, I haven't seen any hermit crabs.
Chilling. Doing engine things.
By doing anything, you mean doing nothing whatsoever, just kind of standing there.
And drinking coffee.
And drinking coffee. You know what? I have heard that sounds an awful lot like engineers. I've read Dilbert, I know.
I like how the bazooka is just strapped loosely on the left-hand turret.
Yep.
There, I hit the button. That helped.
I did things. Okay, Scorch Takers.
Standard split.
Yep.
Especially because there's that malachite looking at you like the food.
Oh, hey, there are birds here. Go away, birds. You're drunk. This is not where you live. Oh, blue orb appeared automatically on this one. Thanks, game.
Wait, did it say celestial orb?
Yeah, they both spawned.
Okay.
Like, thanks, game. I appreciate you giving me the thing I wanted last floor on this floor. It's not useful anymore, but, you know. Apparently, all of the enemies love you right now.
No complaints from you, I'm sure.
I mean, I'd like to punch something.
It's malachite.
Something spawned!
What about these 4 malachites? Would you like to become friends with them?
Well, you see, about them, I have a Hellfire Tincture. Malachite dies very fast with Hellfire Tincture.
But you seem so fearful of them.
Well, yes, now I can actually survive shit.
What?
You know those 4 malachite you mentioned?
No. The 4 malachite were quite dead. Oh, I was hit by an elite bird before it finished zoning in again. Lovely.
Okay, y'all are stopping me from getting this item, and I'm kind of upset about it.
I mean, you should still be okay for the boss, because one of my turrets is still murdering everything over there.
Yeah, I'm not terribly worried about it, but still. Go ahead and grab one of these. I said grab one of these, and let's move.
Next green, you should probably get another charge.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay, it's picking up.
Oh, okay, well, apparently I'm gonna be down here for a bit. Don't mind me. You and your invisible ass can play over there. I'm gonna be over here doing my things. No, stop chase. Nope, stop following me. No, thank you, Girl Scout. I don't want any of your cookies. It's not a gun, it's a cookie launcher. One more? One more.
Yeah, the math on those are weird. It's 7 for 100% bleed.
Yep.
Also, I don't think the...
Oh, that's frightening. Time to move.
I don't think the health regen turns off unless you step into one of those spike bombs.
Or if they hit you. It's one or the other. It's not a passive thing. What they have to actually damage you.
But there's a bunch of chests over on my side, so you might as well just migrate over.
Yep. Do that. Activate this. Run away from Malachite.
Next green, I'd probably get another heal spell.
Thinking the same thing. Why? Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Y'all are not fun. Y'all are harsh in my groove. Okay, that shrine is dead to me. Nope, 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 nope. This is becoming ever more dangerous.
Yeah, I would just head to the exit at this point.
You know what? You're probably right. Don't mind me. I'm not here anymore.
This platform's clear. Just go straight. Exit's right in front of you. There's a teddy bear if you want it. Or a thingy-ma-booble. That turret's gonna put in work for you.
Oh, okay then.
As I said, the turret's gonna put in work for you.
Hey, I did work too.
Yeah, but he still has the guillotines on.
That is an awful lot of Malachite just right there. They are now dead. I need to get after this guy up here.
It's the one that's out of the boss area behind you.
Yeah. Just kind of killing stuff while it kind of comes around.
There we go, it's in the circle.
I'm annoyed that missed. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Here, you play with that. Oh, God.
That's the ring.
Healing's turned off. Hold on. Come on. There we go.
Remember, Celestial Portal is the brighter of the two.
I will remember this if I survive. Hold on. Oh, God. Nope, Malachite. I gotta run. 94. We're gonna run for a bit. Okay, Malachite's off.
Up.
Oh, it's up. Okay.
The brighter of the two is the further one.
Yeah, it does actually tell you. Okay, time for me to play Keep Away with a shit ton of enemies. Tell you what, guys, I'm gonna be over here. Okay. We did it! Jesus. Okay, unfortunately, we did not get prayer beads, so this is gonna be a real short trip.
Unless you want to do, like, 3 more.
We'd have to do an entire extra loop.
Nope, it's every 3 now.
It's every...
Every 3 maps we'll get another Celestial.
I'm
So after,
pretty sure that's not correct.
It would be the second map on Loop 2.
Oh, damn it.
Goodbye.
I didn't reset my jump. Nah, let's just end it here.
Okay.
We're actually here. It's fine. Splish Splash. Floater Mastery.
Yay!
Yay! I was dead for half the game. Yay!
How much money? Minion damage dealt 5,789,485.
How much time were you alive?
61 minutes 15 seconds.
Okay, I was only dead. I was alive for 51 minutes, so I was only dead for 10 minutes total.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I am going to take off.
Yep, I think this is a good place to stop.
So just past midnight for me.
So, folks, I will see you later. There will be more. I still have plenty of characters to get this achievement on.
Take care, everybody.
Catch y'all next time.